but now that I've got it bonded with mine, it should be perfect. Because they're showing 80 megabytes per second. I got it. So, you got one too, huh? Mm-hmm. You got a small bag popcorn. Yes. Let her know when we go live. Oh. You were what? No. I get paid to sit here and do this. So. At least you're getting paid. Whether anybody watches it or not.
Looks like we're going to be doing this one on the phone. Hmm. Yeah, definitely. There was a thing, man. They didn't like each other. It's pretty obvious, too. Always, I mean, anytime I get to one of those, I point that out. I'm like, look, it's pretty obvious these people did not really just love one another. There was a thing going on. Peter did this. And, I'm the one that Jesus loved. I'm just saying. Every other gospel, it doesn't specifically say it was Peter that did something. John's like, hey, it's Peter. It's him.
It was on his.
Yeah. I gotta get something.
Hey. This guy's name sit up here. Pitch
Coach?
Yes.
Coach Tate, Robert Tate.
That's Coach Tate?
Coach basketball.
Okay, thank you. I feel really stupid right now.
I understand. I feel that way all the time. All the time. Yep, we're good. I can hear you. Can you hear me? Okay, good deal. They're flipping the field. Don Trail said 4 o'clock. There's no way they're going to be ready to go at 4 o'clock, I don't think. Let's plan on, I'll text you, but let's plan on pregame somewhere between 4 and 4:10 would be my guess. And because I'm going to run down to the hospitality, I get something to drink. But I'll text you and let you know. My guess is we're probably looking at pregame no earlier than 4:10, 4:15. Don Trail says 4. I don't think there's any way they're going to be playing at 4. I mean, that's 18 minutes. They're still out there getting everything turned over. So let's plan on pregame. I'll text you somewhere between 4 and 4:10. If it needs to be later, I'll let you know. And, yeah, we'll be ready to rock and roll, brother.
EAB Ag Network, your EAB market recap. May corn at 439 down 2. July corn at 447.5 down 1 3/4. May soybeans at 1036 3/4 up 6 1/4. July soybeans at 1045 up 5 3/4. May wheat at 513 down 5 with July wheat at 529 1/4 also down 5. July cotton at 66.69 down 69 with October cotton at 68.91 down 49. May rice 1247.5 down 24 cents. July rice at 1278 down 25. Moving on to livestock now. June live cattle at 214.25 up 172.5. August live cattle at 210 even up 162.5. May feeder cattle at 297.47.5 up 302.5. With August feeder cattle at 301.25 up 265. May lane hogs at 90.65 down 50 with June hogs at 97.17.5 down 15. That's your EAB market recap, brought to you by Pico Foods. Now buying corn and milo direct from local producers in Arkansas, Alabama, Missouri, and Mississippi. Farmers, before you lock in your 25-26 corn and milo, give Pico Foods a call. As the 7th largest poultry producer in the U.S. and a 4th-generation family-owned business, Pico Foods is buying both new crop and stored corn and milo right now. They're committed to supporting local farmers by purchasing direct, year-round, at competitive prices. Don't miss out. Call today. In Arkansas and Missouri, reach out to David Durham or James Chester, 870-202-7101. In Alabama and Mississippi, contact Andrew Parker or John Taylor Higman, 205-364-2102.
Bad theater seats, cheap Halloween masks, my apartment, all things with obstructed views. Add to these, large trucks and buses. 18-wheelers and large buses have big blind spots, and like my apartment, they don't always have the best view. Bus and truck drivers deal with blind spots around the entire vehicle.
probably another 20 minutes before you play. No, I bet no 30 minutes. Before you play. Looks like they're going to chop the batter's boxes again. They're going to chalk the batter's boxes. For both teams to go out there and throw the ball over and miss it all. Thursday?
She's later than us. And then I was saying like Mississippi State. I think like Lita comes on like the third. That's late.
Where's my change? Where's my change at? You got my change?
She didn't give me no change.
Where's my change at?
Raising a thief.
No, she didn't.
Put it
How
in
do
your
you do
pocket.
this, Paige?
Well, first it says cool sticker.
What else? Old school. I got 22. What do you got? 20. Right. It's a competition. All right, you win. Lay down. What happened? He's got to reach deep. Reach deep. 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 Crossing viewers. I don't know what happened there. So everybody has to do a mini warm-up. Take the field and say, what? I know. We just sit on. Welcome back. This is hot, by the way. Okay. Just so you know. We didn't tell him jokes. You got a joke?
Yeah.
My favorite one, 3 men walk into a bar.
That's terrible. That's so bad. We got in Malvern in church in our plant in Malvern. The guy that kind of does our welcome and stuff. He does tell a joke every Sunday. called him the other day. I was like, dude, you have got to improve these jokes. They're so bad. But I guess they're so bad, they're good. Maybe. I don't know. They're that bad.
That's joke.
That's at best. At best.
So you know if it's a dad joke? Yeah, it's a parent.
Nice. I knew something was coming. Hello. Yeah, we're about to go on. Yeah, we'll go here in about 4 minutes, 5 minutes or so.
It's happening too. Now you're back calling me with open arms. What happened to the one you made with all that charm? You say it's gone, you're a long way, yeah, that's a shame. If you think real hard, I know you'll see just who's to blame. cry. Oh, you're the one that laughed at me, then said goodbye. You're the one that made me blue. So how's it feel now that you're the one it's happening to? Oh, tell me how's it feel now that you're the one? How's it feel to be the one? How's it feel now that you're the one it's happened to? You're the one, oh, you're the one. Yeah, you're the one. You're the one. You're the one. Oh, you're the one. Yeah, you're the one.
The EAB Sports Network presents Stuttgart Ricebird baseball and softball coverage this season. Brought to you by Ag Heritage, Baptist Health Stuttgart, Blue Seal Petroleum, Coker Hampton, Durden Heating and Cooling, Express Employment, Farmers and Merchants Bank, Freemeyer's Best Brands Plus, The French Seam, Southern Bancorp, Katie Shack, Konechny Insurance, Lehman Tree Service, Lane, Max Prairie Wings, Pearson Company, Prairie Implement Company, Stedman's Ace Hardware, TechStream, U.S. Irrigation, and Wilkerson Jewelers. Ricebird coverage starts now.
Live from the Ricebird Sports Complex, it is time for Ricebird Baseball here on 105.5 The Duck. Also live streaming on the EAB Stuttgart YouTube channel. I'm Cole Sherman, Andrew Skinner on the EAB live stream, and Derek Thacker, Luke Methvin is back at the station on the 105.5 board as we get set for the first round of the 4A2 regional tournament between the Stuttgart Ricebirds and the Highland Rebels. This is game number one. This is the most important game of regional tournament play because if you win this one, not only do you advance to the semifinal round, you also punch your ticket to the 4A state tournament next week in Monticello. This is the 1-4 matchup. The Highland Rebels are the 1 seed out of the 4A3 conference. That actually a little bit of an upset. They have a conference tournament up there in Northeast Arkansas. Brooklyn was the regular season champion. Highland, the number 3 seed, upset the Bearcats, and they're the number 1 seed. Stuttgart, the number 4 seed, out of the 4A6 conference, losing kind of the 3-4 matchup with Wynn on Tuesday. Now, if Stuttgart would have won that game, the Ricebirds would have played the game before this one, the 12:30 first pitch, which was Wynn and Brooklyn. Brooklyn ended up winning that game over the Yellow Jackets. It was a good one, though. Final score 5-4. Wynn loaded the bases with nobody out in the top of the 7th inning, and they got 2 across, but they couldn't get the tie and run across, and so Brooklyn advances to the semifinals in the state tournament while Wynn's season comes to an end. Thank you so much for making us a part of your Thursday afternoon here, regional tournament baseball from the campus of Stuttgart High School. First regional in the history of the school, and it has gone very, very smoothly thus far. The weather has cooperated. The fields look great. The facility is in excellent shape. Just a very, very impressive performance here by everybody from Stuttgart. The two teams have already gone through their pregame infield. The Highland coach and Coach Dontrell Brown for the Ricebirds are meeting at the plate right now, kind of exchanging lineups, going over the ground rules here at the Ricebird Baseball Complex. We are not going to have too long of a Blue Seal Petroleum pregame show this afternoon as we'll go directly to first pitch. We'll go ahead and tell you kind of how things have gone up to this point. The morning set of games have already taken place. We'll talk about the baseball side of things first. The 10 o'clock game saw the number 1 seed from the 6-4A conference. That's our conference. Southside Batesville, they knocked off Jonesboro Westside to move into the semifinal round. While, as we've already mentioned, the 12:30 game, Brooklyn defeated Wynn by 1. In fact, both of those games were 1-run games for the favorite. So Southside will play Brooklyn tomorrow at noon in the regional semifinal. On the girls' side of things, Lone Oak, the number 1 seed, knocked off Pocahontas to move into the semifinal game tomorrow afternoon. While there was a minor upset in the second game, the 12:30 game, Southside Batesville knocked off Brooklyn. That was a 3 seed over 2 seed win. So Southside moves on to play Lone Oak, a couple of 4A6 conference teams in the semifinals. Happening right now, in fact, across the way over on the softball field, the Lady Ricebirds are actually playing right now against Westside, and I haven't looked at the score in the last minute or two, but in the third inning, the last time I looked, there was actually no score in that game. That's the 1-4 game. Westside, the number 1 seed, Stuttgart, the number 4 seed. So Hallie Watkins doing a great job in the circle right now. She has only given up 1 hit to this point, to my knowledge. I will actually try to keep up with with that game as best I can to try to give you some updates as we move through the broadcast this afternoon. But for now, we'll tell you that Stuttgart and Westside, that's the 3 o'clock game in softball happening right now. Stuttgart and Highland, the 3 o'clock game of the baseball. That game we expect to first pitch probably in about 3 minutes or so. We probably will have somewhere around a 4:20 to 4:22 first pitch in this one. The last game of the day, game number 4, the 5:30 first pitch in baseball. Lone Oak, the number 2 seed from the 4A6, will take on Gosnell, the number 3 seed. And then on the softball side of things, it's the Yellow Jackets of Wynn and Gosnell. So Gosnell playing in both sides, baseball and softball, for the 5:30 first pitch. It'll be Lone Oak and Wynn as their opponents. Highland is taking the field now. They are the home team. Now, of course, Stuttgart, since they're the host team, and the visitors' dugout, and this one's actually the first base dugout. That is typically Stuttgart's dugout during the regular season. They'll be the visitors this afternoon. They're going to start things off in the dugout. Or, excuse me, they'll start things off at the plate, I should say. And Highland on the field right now, they will start out defensively. The Rebels in some gray tops and bottoms with the scarlet red. Rebels across the chest in kind of a white and red font. So as we're just a few minutes away from the first pitch in this one, we'll go ahead, take a very quick break so that I can maybe check on that softball game real quick. And when we come back, it'll be time for baseball here in the first round of the 4A2 regional tournament between the Ricebirds and the Highland Rebels. Back in 60 seconds, you're listening to Ricebird Baseball on 105.5 The Duck. It's a part of the EAB Sports Radio Network.
At Blue Seal Petroleum, serving you is their privilege. Blue Seal extends a heartfelt thank you to their valued customers across Arkansas and surrounding counties. Your trust in Blue Seal for your fuel, tire, and service needs is truly appreciated. It's your loyalty that has fueled their commitment to excellence for over 80 years. From the entire team at Blue Seal Petroleum, thank you for choosing them. They're here for you always. When you need them, call Blue Seal in DeWitt at 870-946-2281. And for Stuttgart, call 870-673-3126.
Hi, this is Jennifer Smith from Wilkerson Jewelers. The real value in any jewelry is the sentimental connection that you have to the pieces you own. The beautiful earrings your grandparents gave you when you graduated. The amazing engagement ring your fiancé surprised you with. The watch your company presented you with when you retired from your job. For over 50 years, Wilkerson's has been a part of those special moments. And we love that we get to be a small part of some of the most important experiences of your lives. No matter what your budget, come in to shop or check us out online at wilkersonjewelers.com. Easy financing and layaway are available. At Wilkerson Jewelers in beautiful downtown Stuttgart, we want to build memories with you.
Caden Scaife leads things off for the Ricebirds here in the top of the first inning. We're going to have a first pitch of about 4:22 p.m. We'll give you the lineups and the defensive alignment as we go through the early innings. The first pitch is on the way, and it's a ball upstairs. For the Ricebirds, Caden Scaife leads off. He's the designated hitter. Didn't know if Caden was going to play. In fact, he's dealing with a hip injury, so he's in the lineup as a DH. Austin Fontenot bats second and plays center. J.D. Herzog is in the 3 spot. He'll be the pitcher of record this afternoon as that pitch slightly off the plate. It's called a strike. It's 1-1. So it'll be Scaife, Fontenot, and Herzog here in the first. Then it's Bo Barnes, Dagan Duncan, and Keaton Byers, Lane Smith, Cameron Rogers, and Knox Tillman. As that 1-1 must have missed up, and it is a 2-ball-and-1-strike count. Hayden Prine is in the lineup behind the plate. In the defensive alignment. He's not in the lineup this afternoon, so that is the batting order for the Ricebirds. Scaife has a 2-1 pitch on him, or 2-1 count, and he fouls that 2-1 to the backstop, 2-2. Scaife has kind of moved around this season. He's pitched, he's played right field, a little bit of second base. He's in the lineup as the designated hitter today. We'll let you know Stuttgart in the top of the 5th inning leads Westside 1-0 right now. So in the middle innings in that one, as the 2-2 curveball hit the other way, it's going to hang up long enough for the right fielder to run over and make the catch. It was hit pretty well, so that's going to be a fly out to right field for the first out of the inning. And that brings Stuttgart center fielder Austin Fontenot to the plate. Got to pull my Game Changer app up. That may be, I'm not sure that that's good luck when I have that Game Changer on. I'm not superstitious, but as you know, as they say, I'm a little stitious. First pitch to Fontenot is to the backstop, 1-0. Yeah, I shouldn't have opened it up. There's bases loaded, nobody out. So if West Side scores in that inning, it's my fault. Second, the 1-0 is fouled off out of play, 1-1. On the mound for Highland, Mason Sinclair, as Fontenot fouls his 1-1 delivery into the crowd. Nobody makes the catch. It hits the concrete and bounces into no man's land between the football field and the baseball complex. Behind the plate this afternoon for Highland is number 15, Zach Huckabee. So defensively for Highland around the horn. I don't have a third baseman on the roster. I'm going to have to go back and look at my notes again. I've got two shortstops. Swing and a miss at that pitch, and it's 2 gone here in the visitors' half of the first. I'm not sure who the third baseman is. It's either Owen Hislop or Keegan Statler. I got both of them with 6 in the position. So it's either Hislop or Statler, and the other one is the shortstop. Second baseman is Thomas Hester. First base is Carson Stanford. As the first pitch to Herzog is downstairs for ball 1. Left fielder, Nate Huckabee. Center field, Hayden Hislop, and Jimmy Jensen plays right. Off speed, catches the outer half. That outside corner is a little bit generous here in the top of the first inning. The top of the outside corner, maybe a little giving over there. That's 1-1 on the Ricebird pitcher. That one was close to the same pitch. It must have been a tick more out, so it's 2 balls and a strike now. Behind the plate for Highland, number 15, Zach Huckabee. Here's the next one. Curveball, that was a good one. Herzog gave up on that one at 50 feet, and that one broke right back over the heart of the plate. The pitch that Scaife hit well to right field was also a curveball. Kind of breaks away from a righty into a lefty. He shakes off the 2-2. Here's the next one. It is hit on a line out of the reach of the second baseman into right center field for a 2-out single. So Herzog stays back on that off-speed pitch, drives it the other way. And the Ricebirds have a little action here with 2 outs in the top of the first inning.
Now batting number 10, Bo Barnes.
Bo Barnes comes to the plate now. He's the cleanup hitter for the Ricebirds. Him and Dagan Duncan have kind of flipped spots in the order. Duncan has dropped to the 5 spot now, as Bo will dig in with a base runner at first and 2 outs. Straight away defensively for Highland. There's that curveball again, and it's more of a kind of a slurve than it is a curve. It's not that hard to pick up. You just got to keep your hands back, and it's not really a quick late breaking pitch. It's kind of more of almost a sweeper. Here's the next one to Barnes. It's the same pitch, and it caught the outer half. And, boy, if he's going to get that call today, that's going to be tough. Although I think that one actually did catch the outer half. The first 2, questionable. That one, yeah, it probably did catch the corner. But he can live there if home plate umpire will allow him to. Here's the 0-2. Same pitch. It was in the dirt. 1-2. We'll see if Stuttgart wants to start the runner here. Ahead 0-2, or 1-2, I'm sorry. So J.D. Herzog stands at first with a 2-out single. He's being held on by first baseman Carson Stanford. There he goes. Pitches up. Throw is in time. Did the tag get applied? It did not. He dropped the ball. So the throw was in time. The tag was there, but it knocked it. He knocked the baseball out of the glove. So that's going to be a stolen base for J.D. Herzog. No surprise there with 2 outs and behind in the count. Good pitch to run on. So now runner in scoring position for Barnes. 2-2 count. Here's the pitch. There's that curveball, and that one was just up. Well, the pitcher from Highland, Sinclair, thought he had strike 3. He was walking off the mound. And, well, Stuttgart's going to have to recognize that curveball because that is certainly Sinclair's pitch. That is his out pitch. That is his get-ahead pitch. And it definitely makes the fastball a little bit swifter. I bet he's going to double it up. Let's see. It is, and it's fouled off the end of the bat. Good 2-strike approach there, earns another opportunity. We'll see if he'll go back to back to back with that sweeper. Wouldn't shock me if he didn't and then come back and try to tunnel the fastball behind it. Here's the 2-2. Curveball hitting the air, right side, out of play. I bet he tunnels a fastball off of it now. West Side is taking a 3-1 lead in the bottom of the 5th inning. Runners at second and third, only 1 out. So just like I said, I opened the Game Changer app and I screwed it up. They'll come back maybe. It's been 1 inning every night for the Ricebirds this season. They've had 1 inning. Here's the 2-2 upstairs. Was that ball 4? Wow, I thought that was ball 3. My fault. So that's going to put a base runner at first and second for Dagan Duncan. So a little 2-out action happening here for the Ricebirds in the top of the 1st inning. Bo Barnes earns a walk. That was a good at bat for Mr. Bo. J.D. Herzog stands at second. Dagan Duncan, digs in from the left side. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss on a fastball off the plate for strike 1. Boy, Dagan, that curveball is going to come right into his swing plane. I would be very careful if I were Sinclair to throw too many breaking pitches to Dagan here. Here is the 0-1. There's that curveball, and Dagan swung underneath it. 0-2. Boy, Stuttgart's going to adjust to that. It's not a great, it's consistent, but it's not an incredibly scary-looking curveball. They can adjust to that pitch. Here it is. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. That'll do it for the Ricebirds. Duncan goes down on strikes, and the Ricebirds strand a couple in the top of the 1st inning. We'll be back for the bottom of the 1st in 90 seconds. You're listening to Ricebird Baseball on 105.5 The Duck. It's a part of the EAB Sports Radio Network.
Express Employment Professionals in Stuttgart has immediate openings for all job types and skill levels. Come in today to apply or go online to expresspros.com. Express is now hiring clerical, office administration, warehouse and production, equipment operators, CDL drivers, welders, machine operators, general labor, and all sorts of skilled trades. Even if you're just thinking about a new job, start your search with Express Employment Professionals at 1904 South Main in Stuttgart. Come in today or go online to expresspros.com.
Hello, this is Kyle Stovison with Ag Heritage Farm Credit Services in Stuttgart. If you're looking to purchase or refinance farm real estate, equipment, cattle, or need capital for your crop operating expenses, we finance it all and share our profits through our patronage program. At Ag Heritage, we have friendly loan officers, competitive rates, and most of all, a lender who provides you with a financing package tailor-made to fit your individual needs. Please contact Kevin Wingfield or myself, Kyle Stovison, in Stuttgart at 870-673-1558. Ag Heritage Farm Credit Services is an equal housing lender.
Baptist Health Women's Clinic Stuttgart is committed to providing quality patient care through all stages of a woman's life. We understand that different health concerns come with each new phase of a woman's life, so we provide education services, trained staff, and a board-certified OBGYN to meet every female body need. From pregnancy and childbirth to osteoporosis and gynecological exams, Baptist Health delivers the care you need to pursue a lifetime of wellness. Learn more at BaptistHealthWomen.com. Baptist Health, for you, for life.
Stuttgart put 2 on in the top of the 1st inning, but could not get them home, and we head to the bottom of the 1st, no score. J.D. Herzog is on the mound for the Ricebirds. He's emerged as the ace of the Stuttgart staff. He's had a couple of excellent outings. Hayden Pride behind the plate. Defensively, Bo Barnes will be at third base. Keaton Byers at shortstop. Knox Hillman at second. Dagan Duncan's at first. Lane Smith is in left field. Austin Fontenot in center. Cameron Rogers in right. Highland will send Nate Huckabee, Jimmy Jensen, and Mason Sinclair to the plate, top of the order, as Huckabee bats from the left side against the right-handed Herzog. And Stuttgart will shift around with the lefty at the plate. Smith comes in pretty shallow in left. Austin Fontenot way over in the right center field gap. Ton of room to the left side as the first pitch is on the way, and it is outside for ball 1. Bo Barnes about 3 steps in on the grass at third. As it's 4-1 in that softball game in the top of the 6th inning, so the Ricebirds have work to do if they want their season to continue. Next one is outside ball 2. Huckabee shows bunt. He's going to pull it back and take a strike, I bet. He does, and he takes a strike. Bo Barnes was about 25 feet from the plate by the time the ball crossed the plate. And it's 2 balls and a strike on the Highland left fielder. Here's the next one. Swinging a foul ball. It's going to get out of play. Not far out of play, actually. It must have hit a, did it hit a pole? It doesn't matter. It's a strike. 2-2. Bo lost his hat chasing that one down. Boy, somebody smells really good around here. I don't know who that is, but somebody right in the front row in front of us has a good skincare. Maybe it was, is it sunscreen? Is that what I'm smelling? It smells really good. Skincare on point. Somebody. Here's the next one. Ground ball, third base. Barnes fields. He's got a long throw across the diamond. He can make it, and there's one out. 5-3 on the putout. As that ball was hit right off the end of the bat. Pretty good English. Barnes handled it, and there's one gone. Yeah, it's typically not something you talk about in a baseball broadcast, but, you know, definitely somebody is taking care of their skin because it smells good. I mean, it doesn't necessarily mean it's taken care of, but I feel like the chances are high. That brings the right fielder, Jimmy Jensen, to the plate. He bats from the right side with the bases empty and one out. And the first pitch he sees is a curveball that he missed by 3.5 feet. Well, they say he got a piece of it. Okay. 1 strike on the batter. Here's the next one. Swinging a miss at a fastball, and it's 0-2. Herzog he ate his Wheaties a little bit this morning. That had a little giddy up to it. Let's see what he does now. He's kind of got him set up. He's shown him the curveball and the fastball. What's he going to do here? 0-2. On the way. Outside. Not a bad spot to miss. 0-2. One, 2 on the way. Tell you what, that was that outside pitch. Let's stay consistent there, Mr. Umpire. Which I don't disagree that it was a ball off the plate, but there was a couple of strike called on that pitch. Although Prine was set up in a little more inside, so he had to move his mitt some. That affects that. Here's the 2-2. Curveball, he struck him out. So he struck him out on the curveball. There's 2 gone now. First strikeout of the afternoon for Herzog brings the pitcher Mason Sinclair to the plate. Icebirds kind of go back into their normal depth, although Lane Smith's pretty deep out there in left. First pitch is on the way in the dirt. Popcorn smells good. Our Icebirds went very quietly in the top of the 6th inning. We're in the bottom of the 4th with 1 out. 4-1 West Side leads on the softball field. As the next one from Herzog. That curveball is pretty dirty right now. That's a pretty nasty breaking pitch from J.D. Herzog as he evens the count at 1 apiece. Here comes the next one. In the dirt. Prine tried to bring it up, but it's a ball down, 2-1. Two-1 on the way now to Sinclair. In the dirt, 3-1. Nice at bat by the pitcher. Herzog's trying to get him to expand the zone. He won't do it. Stuttgart in the row, the black tops with the bird on the left chest, the white bottoms. Swing and a miss, and the count is full. And somebody right in front of us is making like a bird noise or something. That is, I don't know how they're doing that, but that is, it's like the Vandy Whistler, but worse. All right, 3-2 pitch, here it is. Walked him. So a 2-out walk. We'll put a base runner on for Highland for Keegan Statler. I think that's how you pronounce that. There's going to be a courtesy runner for Highland. That is number 8. Yeah, number 8. Statler bats from the right side. Pretty good sized fella down there. Doesn't look like a shortstop. I bet he's the third baseman. Just looking at his build, I say that's a third baseman. That's not a shortstop. Although the kid on deck, he kind of looks like he could double as a third baseman too, so I don't know. Well, he's the catcher. We'll see what number 10 looks like. That's a check swing. Throw behind the runner. I think he missed the tag. He did. I think he missed the tag. The throw was on time, and I think Dagan just missed the tag. That was a nice throw down by Prime, though. He had him. Dagan was just kind of got caught off the bag a little bit. He went to the ball instead of letting the ball come to him. Pitch was called a strike, so the 0-1 is a strike called, and it's 0-2. Herzog way ahead, 0-2 on the batter, 2 outs, runner at first, bottom 1. Here's the pitch to Statler. He hits it. That's going to get down right center. That's going to chase first to third, and they're going to have to hurry. That's going to score a run if it's not a perfect relay, and it's not, as Highland moves ahead 1-0 on an RBI double that chases Sinclair around from first base. It wasn't a terrible relay. In fact, Byers made it closer than I thought he could, to be perfectly honest. I thought Sinclair might come in standing up. He took a big round around third. It wasn't a great job hitting the inside of the bag. That's the reason it was as close as it was. Nice job by Cameron Rogers to get to it quickly. Good throw in to the cutoff man. Byers with a good relay, but just not in time. And Highland with a 2-out RBI double. And they lead it 1-0. That pitch to Zach Huckabee is a strike over the inner half now. And what makes that worse, it was on an 0-2 pitch. You just hate to give up 0-2 RBIs. Herzog shakes off the first side. Now he's ready. Stuttgart leaves a big hole down at second base. And it's really an art on how to hold a runner at second. But right now, Stuttgart is just really leaving a lot of space over there at second. As Knox Hillman's basically standing right behind the base. He's got to get back to his position. There's one right at Byers, and it eats him up on a hop. They're going to say everybody is safe. That was a tough play, though. It was a short hop to his right side. He did a good job of keeping it in front and not allowing it to get into left field. That would have allowed a run to score. So Byers does a nice job to keep it on the infield. I bet they rule that a hit, and they do. So that is ruled a hit. Second hit of the inning for Highland. They've got runners at the corners now. 2 outs, leading Stuttgart 1-0. So Herzog cruised through the first 2, and he's had a little trouble since. That brings Hayden Highslip to the plate. Excuse me, Owen. I've missed somebody on my lineup. My lineup card's wrong. I've got the wrong Highslip at the bat. Here's the pitch to whoever Highslip it is. It's number 27. So Hayden Highslip, he's the center fielder. And he is behind in the count 0-1. Let's see what Highland wants to do. Two outs and runners at the corners. They're going to hold the base runner Huckabee. That's Duncan doing that work. And the pitch, curveball, that's a strike at the bottom of the zone, 0-2. So Herzog once again gets ahead of a batter. He's been ahead of everybody this afternoon. He just, the last couple of batters have hit it where they ain't. Here's the 0-2 now. Curveball. Holy smokes, that is a called strike 3. I thought he wasn't going to call it a strike. He's got a late punch out on a strike called looking, and so that'll do it for Highland in the bottom of the first inning. They do push one across, a 2-out single. Scores a run. They lead Stuttgart 1-0 as we head to the top of the second inning. Ricebirds will send Byers, Smith, and Rogers to the plate. We'll be back in 90 seconds. You're listening to Ricebird Baseball on 105.5 The Duck.
Do you know how much life insurance your partner has? What company is it with? Do you have life insurance? Is it through your employer only, or do you have a policy that you own? This is Holly Brothers, and as a life insurance agent, it is my responsibility to discuss the types of coverage available to you and put a plan in place for when your employer no longer provides coverage. Life insurance costs more as we age, so don't wait to apply. Let's lock in your rate today and save. Give Keith or myself a call at Connection Insurance 870-673-9249.
Tohatsu Outboard offers 4-stroke motors from 2.5 to 250 horsepower, and all with a 5-year warranty. Built with their one-of-a-kind direct injection technology, Tohatsu has revolutionized environmental performance, uncompromising their pursuit of durable and lightweight outboard motors. And with interest rates as low as 4.99% financing, now is the time to get a new Tohatsu motor from Max Prairie Wings in Stuttgart. Call Max Prairie Wings in Stuttgart or click on maxbw.com. Great service and competitive prices. Max Prairie Wings in Stuttgart. The hunt begins here.
Are you tired of unreliable internet service? Do you constantly run over your data plan? Are you having trouble getting internet service where you live? With TechStream high-speed internet, you'll get consistent high speeds and low latency that doesn't stop at city limits. TechStream high-speed internet is perfect for homes, small and large businesses, farmers, and hunting clubs. You'll be able to stream, game, and surf with no interruptions. Servicing Arkansas, Lone Oak, Prairie, Jefferson, and Lincoln counties. TechStream is your locally owned and operated high-speed internet solution. Call toll-free 866-268-0101 or visit techstream.net.
Keaton Byers leads things off for the Rice Birds here in the top of the second inning. First pitch to him swung on and missed, and he's behind in the count 0-1. Highland scored 1 in the first. They lead it 1-0. As the 0-1's a curveball that was probably the best one he's thrown today. That one had a ton of break, and Byers fouled it down the third base line for strike 2. I mean, there's no doubt that is his out pitch. And Stuttgart will have to identify it. That boy, if he can tunnel that fastball at that spot off of that curveball, he's going to have a good day today. Sinclair, I'm speaking of. 1 ball, 2 strikes. That one just missed off the plate. It was a heck of a pitch placement, though. Here's the 1-2. There's the curveball. It finishes way off of the strike zone. 2-2 now. Softball trails 4-1, I believe, in the bottom of the 6th. So the Rice Birds will be down to their final 3 outs of the season. Curveball in. And Sinclair, just about every pitch, seems like he's losing his hat. He either needs a smaller hat or a bigger head. One's easier than the other. Although, as Byers, they're going to appeal the check. I don't think he went. No, so Byers walks. You know, although the older I get, the easier it seems to be to gain weight. And so maybe it's easier to get a big head than a small hat. I don't know. All right, so a leadoff walk for the Rice Birds in the top of the second inning brings Lane Smith to the plate. Dontrell Brown is flashing the sides from the third base box as the bottom of the order trying to get things shaken here. Rice Birds had a couple of base runners in the first, couldn't get them home. Now they've got one here in the second. Smith shows bunt, takes a ball outside. And that was that pitch that the home plate umpire seems to be a little bit more generous on the outside to the right-handed batter. That is a spot that Sinclair has really tried to put the fastball today. 1-0 on the batter as Smith shows bunt again, and boy, bunts at one above his head. And it's 1-1 now. Good crowd here. A lot of students. Of course, I'd heard that if they bought a ticket, they could leave school a little bit early. Man, if you better be here. Why wouldn't you be here? I mean, I don't need a lot of reason, but that's plenty of reason. That is motivation to come watch some baseball. Hang out at the park on a Thursday afternoon. 1 ball, 1 strike on Lane Smith. He shows bunt, takes the ball out. There goes the runner. Byers slides in front of the tag, and does he stay on the bag? He does, and Stuttgart has a runner at second with nobody out. So Byers got a pretty good jump right there. They kind of forgot about him. Sinclair really forgot about Byers there. That was just a straight steal as Smith took a ball that was buntable, but it was off the plate. And it's 2-1 now. He shows bunt again, and that's a good one. Down the first base line, the pitcher fields, throws to first for the out, but that advances Byers to third, and so Stuttgart has a runner at third base with less than 2 outs, and Cameron Rogers at the plate. Smith with a very good sacrifice 1-4. And, boy, I tell you what, another step, and Smith would have beat that out. That was a nice play by Sinclair fielding his position. So Byers stands at third. Cameron Rogers in the left-hand batter's box. 1 out. First pitch to him. Gets to the backstop. Byers is going to score without a throw, and we're tied at 1. So a little small ball gets the Ricebirds on the board as Sinclair will probably be charged with a wild pitch there to score the runner from third. And now, with 1 out, the base is empty. Cameron Rogers has a 1-0 count at the plate. So Stuttgart, a walk, a stolen base, a sacrifice, and a pass ball. Score a run without a hit. Feel like I'm watching the 1987 St. Louis Cardinals. A little whitey ball out there. Here's the next one. There's that outside pitch that he has a tendency to expand. Once again, Sinclair loses his hat. Anybody has some duct tape? That might be the answer. Maybe some Velcro. Here's the 1-1. Shows bunt. That was bunting for a hit all the way as Rogers tried to put it down the third base line. If he could have gotten it down the line, he would have gotten a bunt single because the third baseman for Highland was down there checking his oil. He wasn't paying attention at all. 1 ball, 2 strikes on the Ricebird right fielder. Here's the 1-2 from Sinclair. Swing and a miss. Well, that was a pitch to hit right there. Swings through the fastball, and there's 2 gone in the top of the second. Knox Hillman, the freshman, digs in from the right side now. 2 gone, base is empty. See if Stuttgart can get a little something shaking with 2 outs here. Check in on the, let's don't check in on the softball game. First pitch, curveball that doesn't do much. 7-1, West Side leads in the top of the 7th. So Stuttgart's got a lot of work to do to move on to tomorrow. 1-0 from Sinclair. That must have been down. We can see in and out pretty good, but it's hard to see up and down from our broadcast position right behind home plate. Sinclair working very quickly, swinging a miss, or they might have got a piece of it, fouled it to the backstop, I'm sorry. So 2 and a strike now, 2 balls and a strike. Sinclair, as we saw in the first game that we broadcast for Win on AM 1400 there in Cross County, both pitchers worked very quickly in that game. 2-1 curveball. Knox gave up on that one way too early, and it's 2-2. That's a good curveball. Sinclair's gotten away from it a little bit here in the second, though. He threw it a lot in the first. He's backed away. I bet he throws it here. Yep, swing and a miss. Good pitch selection. That'll do it for the Ricebirds in the top of the second, but they do push 1 across to tie it at 1. We head to the bottom of the second inning, 1-1, as the Highland Rebels will come to the plate with, 7, 8, and 9 in the lineup. Back in 90 seconds, you're listening to Ricebird Baseball on 105.5 The Doug.
At Farmers and Merchants Bank, we're not just a bank, we're a part of your community. That's why we're dedicated to being the neighbors who are in your corner right here in Arkansas. Whether you're saving for a new home, planning for your future, or managing your everyday finances, Farmers and Merchants Bank has the friendly local knowledge and personalized services to help you reach your goals. Farmers and Merchants Bank, in your corner, supporting the community we all call home. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
At Blue Seal Petroleum, serving you is their privilege. Blue Seal extends a heartfelt thank you to their valued customers across Arkansas and surrounding counties. Your trust in Blue Seal for your fuel, tire, and service needs is truly appreciated. It's your loyalty that has fueled their commitment to excellence for over 80 years. From the entire team at Blue Seal Petroleum, thank you for choosing them. They're here for you always. When you need them, call Blue Seal in DeWitt at 870-946-2281. And for Stuttgart, call 870-673-3126.
Freemeyer's Best Brands Plus has been supporting Ricebirds athletics for 46 years in Stuttgart. We're honored to be a part of the Ricebird tradition. Freemeyer's has joined with some of the best brands in America, including Whirlpool, Maytag, KitchenAid, Lazy Boy, and Sealy, to be able to supply our customers with the best values. Now, Freemeyer's has gone a step further with guaranteed price matching. If you need home furnishings, make sure you check with Freemeyer's, 201 South Main in downtown Stuttgart. Best brands, best prices, best people.
All right, we are back for the bottom of the second inning. 1-1, J.D. Herzog on for his second inning of work. Faces the shortstop Owen Heislip to lead things off. First pitch is on the way. Curveball hit right off the end of the bat. Byers fields, and that ball's got crazy spin, and that's going to result. They'll probably give an E6 on that, but that ball was right off the end of the bat, had some wicked spin on it, and it just kind of ate Keaton up. We'll see. I'm sure, yeah, they're going to score it an E6. No surprise there, but not all errors are created equal, and that's a tough one. But I agree, it's the right score. So Highslip on with an error brings Thomas Hester, the second baseman, to the plate. So J.D. will have to pitch around some no one-out base traffic on the base paths. He shows bunt. Hits a good one. J.D.'s going to field it. He'll throw to first for the out. No one was covering third, but Barnes does a good job of getting over there in time. Boy, Highland almost moved up first to third on that sacrifice 1-3.
Now batting, number 14, Joseph Sprinkle.
So one out. Bottom of the order, designated hitter Joseph Sprinkle at the plate. And he couldn't be standing anymore in the back of the box. So Herzog working a pitch around. A little traffic here. First one on the way, curveball. That's a good one. Coach Randy Deaton in the press box. He's kind of serving as the de facto tournament director here. I think he just loaded up the cooler behind us. I hope he put a Diet Mountain Dew in there. Herzog gives a look to Highslip. Here's the pitch, curveball, swing and a miss, strike two. So J.D. with back-to-back benders, and he's way ahead of the designated hitter in the Rebel lineup. Here's the pitch. Fly ball right center field. Rogers comes on. He makes the catch. Are they going to tag? No. Not deep enough, and there's 2 outs now in the second. Nice job there, Rogers. Let's see, that's going to be an F9 put out of Sprinkle, and back to the top of the order we go to Nate Huckabee. Huckabee grounded out to the third baseman to lead things off, and with 2 outs, that's how they scored their runs in the first. They got them, their only run. They got their lone run in the first inning with 2 outs. They have a runner in scoring position with 2 here. Here's the pitch to Huckabee, outside. I tell you what, these Highland kids, they don't fill their uniforms out like some of the other teams we've seen here. I was just looking at Brooklyn and Wynn, some of those guys, man. Those dudes were big. These are a little baggy on these dudes. Here we go. Next one, curveball. We'll take that all day. Caught the top of the zone. So 1-1 on the Highland left fielder. Base hit could give Highland the lead. J.D. wants to get into the dugout, tied at 1. Hillman holds the runner at second. Now he'll bounce to his position. Herzog comes set, pitch. That's going to be a base hit in right field. We may have a play at the plate. Rogers comes in, throw. If it's on the line, tag is in time. He got him. Rogers with the 9-2 putout. And the Ricebirds get out of the bottom of the second inning. Cameron Rogers with an absolute BB from right field. And that keeps the score tied at 1. Heck of a throw. Great tag by Hayden Prine. And to the top of the third inning we go, tied at 1. Back in 1 minute. You're listening to Ricebird Baseball on 105.5 The Duck.
Are you tired of leaking on yourself? Tired of those embarrassing moments? Do you have chronic sciatica? Low back pain? Are you experiencing painful intercourse? Hemorrhoids? Maybe you're dealing with erectile dysfunction. Would you like to improve your balance? And oh, the incontinence. Did you know that all of that can be resolved in as little as 3 weeks? That's right, only 28 minutes twice a week for 3 weeks. Most people notice a difference after their second session. The Emcella by BTL is so easy to use. You stay fully clothed. It's totally non-invasive, and there is 95% patient satisfaction. This is a breakthrough for incontinence and ED, and we here at the Katie Shack have made all of this relief possible for you.
So why put up with those symptoms, especially now that you know that there is a cure? We have special financing available and we have amazing affordable packaging deals. This is FDA approved and proven. Please call us at 870-873-4300 and let us help you on this journey to a better, healthier way of life.
Cameron Rogers with an absolute peel to the plate to end the threat for Highland. A 9-2 put out of Owen Heislip keeps the score tied at 1 in the top of the third inning. The Rice Birds will send the top of the order to the plate. Caden Scaife, Austin Fontenot, J.D. Herzog, Bo Barnes bats if anyone reaches. Scaife flied out to right field to lead the game off. He hit it pretty well. It was just right at the right fielder. And he'll bat here to lead things off in the third. We'll let you know that the Stuttgart Lady Ricebird softball season came to a close today. They lost their first-round regional game as Scaife hits one a mile high in the air to left field. In comes the left fielder, and there's one out. So that's the first out. That brings Fontenot to the plate. We'll see if we can get that final score. If it was 7-1, the final score, Stuttgart led it late. They led 1-0 going into the bottom of the fifth, and then Westside scored 4 in the fifth and 3 in the sixth for the 7-1 win. Westside out hit the Lady Ricebird 6-3, and as it's been all season long, 5 errors for Stuttgart. It has just been an error fest defensively for Stuttgart softball this year. That's probably the main thing that's got to be cleaned up going into the 2026 season. Austin Fontenot's at the plate. He is 1 ball and 1 strike to Sinclair, as I'm sure the curveball's coming soon. That was a fastball outside, missed. 2-2 now. Excuse me, 3 and I have no idea what the count is. I was talking about softball and not paying attention. Is it 2-1? We're going with 2-1. Curveball inside. Oh, he called that a strike? That almost hit him on. He must be right on top of the plate if that was a strike. I mean, he must be having his toes on the plate if that was a strike. Yeah, well, it was a strike. It's 2-2. That one was either down or in. I'm not honestly sure. This is definitely, of the 3 games that I've watched, this has been the most inconsistent zone we've seen. The other 2 home plate umpires pretty doggone good. Here's the next one. 3-2, curveball, gave up on it, and that is going to be strike 3 called. That's a strikeout of Fontenot for the second out of the inning, and that brings J.D. Herzog to the plate. Herzog singled and was left stranded at second base in the first. He bats with 2 outs and the base is empty, and Sinclair's curveball still giving the Ricebirds fits. Just feels like after they've seen it a few times, they will be able to drive it the other way. They just can stay back there on it to keep the hands back. Here's the first one to J.D. Did that hit him? Almost. And so J.D. will take an extra moment out on the dirt, take a deep breath. He'll dig back in. 1-0 count. That one's outside, 2-0. Luke Methvin back at the station on the 105.5 The Duck board. Andrew Skinner on the EAB Stuttgart YouTube live stream, if you're listening there, as Herzog worked 3-0. Boy, it doesn't look like Sinclair wants anything to do with J.D. here. We'll see, but I don't think they're going to throw him anything. Nope. I thought that was a strike, but they say it was a 4-pitch walk of J.D. Herzog. He's on for the second time today. And that brings Bo Barnes to the plate. So Barnes has had some big swings this season. He's driven in some runs. He's shown a little bit of pop from that right side. And, boy, this is very similar to the first inning. Stuttgart got 2 quick outs and then a couple of base runners. See if Stuttgart maybe can make something happen here. Wouldn't be shocked to see J.D. moving if he can get a good jump. Worst thing in the world to have Bo Barnes leading off the fourth. Or third, I'm sorry. Well, no, fourth, I'm sorry. We'll see. They're going to check on J.D. They're going to try to keep him close. But I guarantee you, if they get a good pitch to run on, certainly that curveball, and J.D. can get a jump, they'll try to swipe second here. It's not a bad lead. It's not a big one. First pitch is outside. Nice job by the catcher to keep it in front. Pretty well straight away defensively for Highland, maybe a tick deep and left. Shaded a little bit to the first base side of center field. Ground ball, foul, just out. Just foul, about a foot maybe. That would have went into the corner. Definitely would have chased JD to third. The Stuttgart might have tried to score him, though. As it is, it's a 1-1 count on the batter. 2 outs. Herzog goes back to first. Here's the next one. There's that curveball. It's 1-2. It's a pretty doggone good pitch. You know, it's consistent, too. He can throw it for a strike just about any time he wants. So it can be a get-over first pitch. He can pitch backwards. He can do a lot with that curveball. So Bo's got to protect here. Down in the count 1-2. They think he might be, JD may be running. They're going to check on him. I wouldn't be shocked to see. That's what happened the last at-bat. 1-2, JD started. He's got a decent lead, not a big lead by any means. About normal. He's getting a little bigger. He's creeping. He's not going, and the curveball gets Barnes to swing through it, and that'll do it for the Ricebirds in the top of the third inning. So they get another one on, but they can't advance him past first base, and so we head to the bottom of the third inning, tied at 1. J.D. Herzog back out for his third inning of work. We'll be back in 90 seconds. You're listening to Ricebird Baseball on 105.5 The Duck.
The quality of Pearson Company in Stuttgart has been established across the Grand Prairie for over 30 years. Pearson Company specializes in construction, repair, and maintenance of steel buildings and will custom design your building to your specifications. Our steel buildings are known for their agricultural, industrial, commercial, and recreational uses. When you're planning a new building of any kind, let Pearson Company give you more building for your money. Mickey says when you know who we are, you won't build any other way.
Hi, it's Kim Buffet. Did you know that Coker Hampton Drug Company and Gift Shop, serving downtown Stuttgart for nearly 100 years, is more than just a store? We're deeply committed to our community, supporting schools, youth sports, churches, and other organizations year-round. When you choose Coker Hampton, you're not just making a purchase, you're supporting a legacy of community care. Your support at 218 South Main in downtown Stuttgart strengthens the bond we have with our community. Thank you for making a difference with Coker Hampton Drug Company and Gift Shop.
All right, here we go. Bottom of the third inning. Ricebirds and Highland tied at 1. This is the 1-4 matchup. But kind of a misleading 1-4 matchup. Highland actually finished third in their conference. Stuttgart finished fourth. But, man, our baseball conference, 1 through 4, not a lot of difference. So, honestly, all 8 teams in this regional to start, all capable of advancing, all capable of winning. That seems to be the way this one's going to be also. Stuttgart has played a lot of close games this year. Leading things off for Highland, the number 2 batter, the right fielder, Jimmy Jensen. He struck out in the first. And the first pitch to him is a curveball that misses up and in for ball 1. Boy, it just feels like it wants to rain, but it's not raining. You just look around, man, there's huge, puffy, thunder-looking clouds everywhere, but just kind of still here right now. Ground ball foul. Nice play by the coach there. Good hands by the third base coach. I'm not sure what he's got. Is that Rebels across the front of his shirt, I think. He's not really wearing a baseball uniform. It's more of a T-shirt. Shows bunt. Pulls it back. That's a strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Jensen. I don't know why you wouldn't wear the full uniform. I mean, that's the best part of baseball, is the uniform. 1-2. Curveball, ground ball. Candy hop to Barnes, and that's a putout, 5-3. So 5-3 on the putout of Jimmy Jensen. They call him JJ. And that brings the pitcher, Mason Sinclair, to the plate. Sinclair actually drew the 2-out walk in the first and scored from first on a base hit into right center field off the bat of Statler. So he bats with 1 out and a runner, or excuse me, 1 out and the base is empty, I'm sorry. As Herzog comes set. First pitch to Sinclair's a strike. Sinclair didn't like it, but Sinclair's wrong. That was a strike every single day of the week and probably 2 to 3 times on Sunday. No balls and a strike. You know, I was heading to church a couple of Sundays ago, and here's the next one, swing and a miss. And the song by the Commodores, easy, easy like Sunday morning. And I looked at my wife. I said, there is nothing easy about Sunday morning if you're on staff at a church. Nothing easy about Sunday morning. Herzog way ahead, 0-2 on Sinclair. Here's the pitch, and that ball's going to be fouled down the first right field line, and it should get into the seats. Well, Knox Hillman's going to give it a look, but he runs out of room. Hillman ran about 75 yards there. Lost his hat at about 50. I think it was more than that. Less than that? That's 50 yards. 50. Hey, you got to exaggerate a little. Here's the 0-2, ground ball shortstop. Byers camps out, picks it up, throws across, 6-3 on the put out of Sinclair. And that's the second out here in the third. They're making fun of me. They don't think it was 75 yards.
Now batting number 18, Keegan Statler.
Coach Robert Tate down there getting a little salty. He's the pitch count keeper-upper guy. He needs to focus on that pitch count and that ladies basketball team. 2 outs. First pitch on the way to Keegan Statler is the ball. And the count's 1-0 now. Well, we just found out we have a fresh delivery of Johnny Freeze's here. That's exciting. Foul tip, 1-1. I need to text my daughter. She'll be wanting to come out here, get her some tiger's blood or some cotton candy.
You better get your bank account right then, because she'll get ugly.
These ball games are killing me, the concession stand, because my kids think that they're entitled to a Johnny Freeze. 1 ball, 1 strike to Statler, Fouled off to the right side. That one is going to get to the parking lot. And it's 1-2 now. Well, it's interesting you say that. Actually, when Beth and I budget at the beginning of the month, we actually put a little bit of budget in for concessions. Because we knew. Yeah, between the ball games and Dodge Store, you got to put a little eating out budget in, Here comes the 1-2. It's a curve ball, hit right back through the box, lightly to Byers. He hits it on a hop, throws across, got him. Nice play. Keaton Byers with a nice play, got it on the candy, and that's a 6-3 put out. 3 up, 3 down for Highland, and we head to the top of the 4th inning, tied at 1. Back in 90 seconds, you're listening to Ricebird Baseball on 105.5 The Duck. We're a part of the EAB Sports Radio Network.
Whether you've got 100 acres to mow or just some brush out back, show Brush who's boss. Wood's line of rotary cutters match a variety of tractors and applications, so you can start clearing tall grass or tough brush right away. With high-lift blades and deeper decks for a better overall cut quality, you won't find any other rotary cutters that keep your land in line like Wood's. Stop in to Prairie Implement Company in Stuttgart to find the right Wood's rotary cutter for your next job.
A generator is one of those things you never think about until you really need it. Luckily, Durden's in Stuttgart is your local authorized Generac dealer, and that means we can sell, install, and provide warranty service on your generator. And that's a big deal because a generator is a big investment and you're depending on it to work properly when you need it. Call us today at 673-1356 to learn more about home backup options, portable generators, and even commercial options for your business. And let's save the candlelight dinners just for date night.
Durden's in Stuttgart. Guaranteed comfort since 1960. There's a place to go in South Arkansas County for both your household and farm supplies. Visit U.S. Irrigation Distributors DeWitt location and see Brian for hardware, parts, tools, and household items. Plus all your farm needs from levee gates to steel, PVC, and polypipe. Dams, boots with chaps, muck boots, and Twisted X footwear. With new items arriving weekly. For farm and home, see Brian at U.S. Irrigation Distributors DeWitt location at 550 Highway 165 North or give him a call at 946-4116.
Now
Dagan Duncan leads things off for the Rice Birds here in the top of the fourth inning. Moving pretty quickly. We're already to the middle innings of this one. Sinclair starts Duncan off with a fastball outside for ball one. Dagan struck out in the first. He bats with the bases empty. Outside ball two. Stuttgart would love to get that leadoff base runner on. Their lone run of the game actually was the result of a leadoff base runner. Leadoff walk of Keaton Byers in the second. 2-0 pitch catches the corner. 2-1 now. If you're watching us on EAB Stuttgart YouTube channel, welcome. If you're listening on 105.5, welcome to you as well. There's the curveball, and there we go. He stayed back on that one, deposited into right field for a leadoff single. You know, we mentioned when Duncan was at the plate back in the second that curveball probably would not be the best pitch against him and the way it breaks into the lefty. And Dagan was ready for it. He waited on it, and he hit it pretty hard into right field for a single. That brings Keaton Byers to the plate. We'll see how Coach Brown wants to play it. He's shown a little small ball here today. We'll see if Byers squares to bunt as they check on Dagan over there at first. I mean, he's not a threat to steal, fellas. I mean, my man Dagan, I love him to death, but he's not a threat to steal. In fact, he could almost fall down and get back to first. There's a good bunt from Byers. Ooh, they're going to try to get the lead runner at second. They are, and he's out. So the bunt, I said it was a good one. It really was right back at the pitcher, and Sinclair made a nice throw to second to cut down Duncan at second, and so the bunt doesn't do anything. That's going to be a fielder's choice for Byers as he reaches, and then Duncan is cut down on a 1-6. And that brings Lane Smith to the plate. Like we said, Dagan's not the fleetest of foot. Needed to be a little better bunt, so Stuttgart's going to have to work with one out here. Still a runner at first. Keaton Byers is the base runner. Much better speed over there now. And the pitch to Smith is in the dirt. Nice job by the catcher to keep it in front. 1 ball, no strikes on the Rice Bird left fielder. Lane had a big hit against Wynn on a couple of weeks ago. Well, actually last Tuesday. Drove in a couple. Ended up being at the time, the go-ahead runs. Here's the next one to Smith, and he takes the ball high. Next game here on this field, next baseball game is, let's see, it's going to be Lone Oak and Gosnell when this one's over. Softball is Wynn and Gosnell. That game, first pitch at 5:30, so they check on Byers at first. He's back in plenty of time. Here's the next one to Dagan. Excuse me, Lane, and he hits it into left field. That one was left up, and he put it into left field. Byers holds up at second. And Stuttgart has runners at first and second. 1 out. Sinclair left that one up. Smith turned it around on him. That brings Cameron Rogers to the plate. So a base hit could give the Rice Birds the lead here. Cameron Rogers, he struck out in the second, and he bats with 2 on and 1 out. First pitch he sees is skied in the air. That one needs to get foul. Let's see. And it does. Again, you can't assume here. There's so much foul territory at the park. And anything hit down that right field line, I really can't see. I'm kind of cut off from my view, my line of sight here. Well, they are leaving a huge gap in left center field for Cameron. As Sinclair looks to work around some 1-out traffic here in the top of the fourth. He's going to show bunt. Pulls it back, takes a strike. Almost hit him. So Cam's ahead 1-1 now. The count's 1-1, I should say. Time called. Rogers asks for time, just gets it as the pitcher Sinclair was going into his going into his motion. I think Cameron had something in his eye he was kind of picking at. Here's the 1-1 as Sinclair works from the stretch, looks at Byers at second. They're going to throw to second. He's back in time. Now the 1-1. Shows bunt again, bunts it down the third baseline, foul. And it's a 1-2 count on the Ricebird right fielder. Here's the next one. Didn't miss by much. 2-2. We've seen that pitch be borderline here this afternoon. And so Rogers is working back into a better count, better hitters count, 2-2. Wouldn't be shocked at all to see the best pitch here, the curveball. He doesn't want to go full. Here it is. It's the curveball. Rogers hits it. Little pop-up. That one is going to be caught by the center fielder. He covered a lot of ground. Thought that one might be a Texas leaguer. But he was able to come up and get it. Nice jump there by number 27, Hayden Heislip, to come make the play. And there's 2 outs. And it's going to take a Knox Hillman base hit to score a run here in the 4th. That was the curveball, and boy, it broke way in on Rogers. He just kind of had a defensive swing, popped it up into shallow center. And there it is again. And, boy, Hillman didn't look very comfortable against the curveball his first at bat. And might see a steady diet of curveballs right here. Second time at the plate. We'll see. Wouldn't shock me anyway. That's the fastball that Hillman hits off the end of the bat foul. Here's the next one to Hillman. They're going to step off. Give Byers a look out there at second. So the Ricebirds. There's the curveball. Good take by Hillman. Two balls, 2 strikes. Swing and a miss. That'll do it for the Ricebirds here in the 4th as they put 2 on. Can't get them across the plate. We head to the bottom of the 4th inning, tied at 1. Back in 90 seconds, you're listening to Ricebird Baseball on 105.5 The Duck.
Spring is right around the corner. Get your lawn and flower beds ready with House Nursery and Landscaping. Whether you need beds cleaned out, fresh mulch, new landscaping, or custom flower beds, Michael Lehman and his team have you covered. Upgrade with new metal trim, rich soil, and expert lawn treatments to keep your yard looking its best. Call Michael Lehman at 870-659-0662 or the House Nursery office at 870-830-0606. Schedule your spring makeover today. Located on Highway 79 toward Umphrey, because a beautiful yard starts here.
At Farmers and Merchants Bank, we know buying a home is more than a transaction. It's a milestone. That's why we're in your corner with mortgage solutions that fit your life. For first-time home buyers to seasoned homeowners, our friendly local mortgage experts at Farmers and Merchants Bank provide personalized guidance and competitive rates, making the path to your new home easier. Farmers and Merchants Bank, in your corner, turning houses into homes. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Like you, Stedman's Ace Hardware is passionate about their community. They support the Lions Club, Fight Like a Kid, and numerous other organizations, including youth, high school, and adult sports programs. Whether helping their neighbors or helping their customers, Stedman's Ace Hardware truly is the helpful place. Shop Weber Grills, Blackstone Griddles, Traeger pellet grills and pellets, and more, and get all the help you need at Stedman's Ace Hardware, 110 South College in downtown Stuttgart. Stedman's Ace Hardware, the helpful place.
Zach Huckabee leads things off for Highland. He singled and was left stranded in the first. He bats with the bases empty. J.D. Herzog on the mound. He had a much better third inning. And the first pitch to Huckabee is grounded and under the glove of Bo Barnes. Barnes probably coulda, woulda, shoulda made that play, but it did kind of squirt under his glove. It'll be a hit, I'm sure. Kind of go down as one of those mysterious play not mades that you really don't see in the scorebook. So that's a leadoff base runner for Highland. And that brings Hayden Highslip, the center fielder, to the plate. Both of these teams have shown that they do not mind playing small ball. We'll see how they play things here in the bottom of the fourth inning. Huckabee at first. Highslip at the plate from the right side. Herzog comes set. Curveball hit him, I think. Did it not hit him? How did it miss him? It was way inside. No, they say it missed him. Okay, and the base runner didn't advance as the ball squirted away from Prine. So 1-0 is the count. I sure thought it missed him. We have a time being asked for as there's a rogue bat in the on-deck circle. Herzog throws over to first anyway. Here's the 1-0. Swing and a miss. Highslip struck out in the first to end the first. His second at bat against Herzog. Highland with a leadoff base runner. Second inning that's happened. They check on the runner. That was a pretty good throw, a pretty good check there. That was probably closer than it should have been. Good throw, good tag. Got in underneath it. As the next pitch is on the way, curveball upstairs. They throw behind the runner, and Huckabee's back in safely pretty easily there, and the count's 2-1. So Stuttgart's paying a lot of attention to Huckabee down there at first base. He's the go-ahead run here in the bottom of the fourth. Tied at 1, Stuttgart and Highland. First round of the 4A2 regional tournament from Stuttgart. 2-1's on the way. Outside 3-1. Here's the next one. Strike called, and the count's full. Felt like Highslip might have been taken all the way there. He had certainly kind of checked out on that pitch before it was thrown. So full count now, nobody out. Runners first. Big pitch upcoming. This is one of the ones you circle in your scorebook as a big pitch. We're going to have to wait a minute because they're going to check on the runner again. That one was pretty close. Herzog thought he was out, but he got back in there. But it was close. I mean, JD's got a good quick move, and Dagan does a nice job getting the tag down. So here's the 3-2. Big pitch. Swing and a miss. Herzog wins the at-bat, and there's one out. That was a big strikeout of Highslip. Brings, I'm assuming, his brother, Owen Highslip, the shortstop, to the plate. Highslip, Hislip, Hyslip, however you pronounce that. All right, here we go. Owen at the plate. First pitch from JD is a strike over the outer half. That's that outside corner that's been a little bit, little inconsistent and maybe a tick generous, both ways. They're going to go out there again, I think. Now, they're going to check on that runner again. Back in plenty of time. Here's the next one. Swing and a miss on a fastball off the plate. Strike 2. Highslip didn't look good on that one at all. Well, the Ricebirds need a big inning here. Top of the order coming up in the 5th. Feels like the 5th inning is the moment. for Stuttgart. If J.D. can get them back into the dugout tied at 1, just feels like the 5th is the inning. Here's the next one. And there's that pitch on the corner. That one was just a little off, and the count goes to 1-2. That's been a pitch that's been called a strike a few times today. But it was off the plate, no question. They're going to go out there again. They're staying away from Highland. Too far, and the count's 2-2 now. So J.D. wants to come with his best pitch here, 2-2. Doesn't want to go full. I don't know if they would start the runner 3-2, 1 out. I bet they would. So whatever his best pitch is, this is what you're going to see here for J.D. 2-2 count, 1 out. Runner at first, bottom of the 4th, tied at 1. Here is the pitch to the shortstop. Swing and a miss, and he struck him out. 2 strikeouts in the inning, 2 gone. And that brings Thomas Hester to the plate. Hester sacrificed 1-3. That was a bunt in the 2nd. So this is the bottom of the order for Highland. Boy, and you would love to get Hester here because that means the number 9 batter would lead off the 5th. So those are some of those things you don't notice as much other than in the flow of the game. And, boy, you'd love to leave the number 9 batter in the on-deck circle. They're going to check on the base runner at first. They're paying a lot of attention to Huckabee over there. There's a difference between the number 9 batter leading off an inning and top of the order. Ricebirds have top of the order in the 5th. First pitch to Hester, popped up. Knocks Hillman, calls everyone off on the cut of the grass, makes the catch. There it is going to do it for Highland here in the 4th. So one leadoff man gets on, but then J.D. Herzog handles business the rest of the way. And that'll do it for Highland in the 4th. We head to the top of the 5th, tied at 1. Stuttgart sends Skay, Fontenot, and Herzog to the plate. Bo Barnes, if anyone reaches. And, boy, it feels like the 5th inning is the big inning for the Ricebirds here against Sinclair. Tell you more about it in 1 minute. You're listening to Ricebird Baseball on 105.5 The Duck.
At Southern Bancorp, we believe in a style of banking that's more than one size fits all. We think it should be personalized to your needs, no matter your zip code or financial position. Whether you need help with credit building or savings, small business support or home ownership, flexible lending, or even free tax prep, there's a path to opportunity for everyone at Southern Bancorp. We believe in your future, and we want to help you get there. Visit banksouthern.com today. Southern Bancorp, wealth builders for everyone. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Express Employment Professionals in Stuttgart has immediate openings for all job types and skill levels. Come in today to apply or go online to expresspros.com. Express is now hiring clerical, office and administration, warehouse and production, equipment operators, CDL drivers, welders, machine operators, general labor, and all sorts of skilled trades. Even if you're just thinking about a new job, start your search with Express Employment Professionals at 1904 South Main in Stuttgart. Come in today or go online to expresspros.com.
Top of the 5th inning for the Ricebirds. Top of the order, Caden Scaife, Austin Fontenot, J.D. Herzog, Bo Barnes bats if anyone can reach. Sinclair on for his 5th inning of work. He's been good today, only allowed 3 hits and, 1 walk. So 4 base runners for the Ricebirds. And the first pitch, he starts Scaife off with the ball outside. 2 walks for Sinclair. Been a good pitcher's duel, as we've seen really this entire tournament. Both games before were very well pitched. As that 1-0, where did that miss? We'll take it, but maybe it was down. So 2 balls and no strikes to the designated hitter. There's the curveball in the dirt. Ball 3. I'll take a leadoff walk. That's a strike at the belt, 3-1. So Scaife was taking all the way there. He'll dig back in from the right side. Scaife dealing with a hip injury right now. 3-1 pitch, strike 2. So Sinclair's battled back 3-0 to 3-2 now. Caden's going to have to hit with 2 strikes. He's 0 for 2 today with a fly out to left and a fly out to right. And he's going to walk. So he draws a leadoff walk. Scaife will head down to first base. And the Rice Birds have something shaking here in the top of the 5th inning. Austin Fontenot at the plate. We'll see if Coach Brown wants to play small ball and see if Fontenot can put the bunt down or if he's going to let him swing away. Scaife dealing with a hip injury, not quite as much speed as we've seen most of the season. It is a bunt, and it's a pop-up, and that's going to be a double play. So Stuttgart will hit into a P1-3 double play as Scaife was caught off the base, and that might kind of end the threat here in the 5th. 2 outs, base is empty now for J.D. Herzog. So Herzog in the box. First pitch he sees up and away. Sinclair loses his hat again. Next one up, curveball. That was a dandy. Must have missed up. That ball broke as much as any one that we've seen today. Missed up, I guess, 2-0. So they'll be careful with JD up 2-0. There's another curveball. That one caught the corner. 2-1. Next pitch fouled off. That was the curveball. He fouled out of play, and it's 2-2 now. Two is way out of the zone, and the count's full. So JD's reached base both at bats. He singled and walked in the 1st and 3rd. But unfortunately, both times he's been to the plate has been with 2 outs. Just stays alive. It's that curveball. He cues off the end of the bat foul. Hadn't been able to get JD up with ducks on the pond yet this afternoon. I guess birds in the nest, maybe that would be more appropriate. Birds on the branch. Birds in the field. Foul ball. Another lost hat. We need to get him some Elmer's glue. Velcro something. All right, another 3-2 coming to the Rice Bird pitcher. Sinclair shakes off the first sign. It's going to be the curveball. It is, and JD stays back and fouls it off. Every time he has shaken a pitch off, he has wanted the curveball. He is most comfortable with that breaking pitch for sure. Much more than his fastball. He has a lot more confidence in it. Sometimes you can go to the well one time too often. Here's the 3-2, ball 4. And that's going to be another trip to first for Herzog. He's been on base 3 times, twice with a walk. And let's see if Stuttgart can make something happen with 2 outs. Bo Barnes bats. Bo walked and struck out in the 3rd. Well, I would love to see Barnes square one up to the gap. Let's see how far JD can run. Here's the pitch outside. JD with a huge secondary lead right now. He gets one that big again, they're going to throw behind him. He's got a huge lead at first. There he goes. Throws in time, but he short-hopped it, and JD's at second again. So once again, Herzog is in scoring position. The pitch was outside, and I believe it's a 2-0 count on the Ricebird third baseman. Maybe 2. Is it 1-1? I guess it's 1-1. Swinging a foul. And it's 2-2 on Barnes. He'll have to take an extra few moments as he fouled that one off the inside of the right foot, I believe. So JD stands in scoring position at second base. 2 balls. I think it's a 2-2 count. Sinclair delivers. Swing and a miss, and it wasn't 2-2. I'm sorry, it is now 2-2. That's my apologies. I think that umpire held that up. I think he held up 2-1, and I read it as 1-2. So Bo gets another opportunity, 2-2. You know the curveball's coming. Got to stay back on it. Here it is. Nope, it was the fastball, and he tunneled it, and Bo swung through it, and the Ricebirds strand another one. So Barnes goes down on strikes for the second time today. The Ricebirds strand another runner, and we head to the bottom of the fifth inning, still tied at 1. We'll be back in 90 seconds. You're listening to Ricebird Baseball on 105.5 The Duck.
Tohatsu Outboard offers 4-stroke motors from 2.5 to 250 horsepower, and all with a 5-year warranty. Built with their one-of-a-kind direct injection technology, Tohatsu has revolutionized environmental performance, uncompromising their pursuit of durable and lightweight outboard motors. And with interest rates as low as 4.99% financing, now is the time to get a new Tohatsu motor from Max Prairie Wings in Stuttgart. Call Max Prairie Wings in Stuttgart or click on maxpw.com. Great service and competitive prices. Max Prairie Wings in Stuttgart. The hunt begins here.
Are you tired of leaking on yourself? Tired of those embarrassing moments? Do you have chronic sciatica? Low back pain? Are you experiencing painful intercourse? Hemorrhoids? Maybe you're dealing with erectile dysfunction. Would you like to improve your balance? And oh, the incontinence. Did you know that all of that can be resolved in as little as 3 weeks? That's right, only 28 minutes twice a week for 3 weeks. Most people notice a difference after their second session. The Ancella by BTL is so easy to use. You stay fully clothed. It's totally non-invasive, and there is 95% patient satisfaction. This is a breakthrough for incontinence and ED, and we here at the Katie Shack have made all of this relief possible for you. So why put up with those symptoms, especially now that you know that there is a cure? We have special financing available, and we have amazing affordable packaging deals. This is FDA approved and proven. Please call us at 870-873-4300 and let us help you on this journey to a better, healthier way of life.
Bottom of the fifth inning. J.D. Herzog back on the rubber. And Highland will send 9, 1, and 2 to the plate. Tied at 1, Highland and Stuttgart, first round of the 4A2 regional tournament. Winner to the semis in the 4A state tournament. Loser's season comes to an end. Stuttgart softball saw their season come to an end with a 7-1 loss to Jonesboro Westside earlier today. So Herzog will pitch to the designated hitter, number 9 in the lineup. First pitch is a curveball that, whoo, that one just clipped the inner half. Sprinkle gave up on it. He thought he was going to wear it, and J.D. snuck it over the strike zone for strike 1. That's one of those moments if you're at the plate. Here comes the next one. Fastball. He tunneled that fastball up and in for strike 2. Nice job there. Good pitch selection. And J.D.'s way ahead of the number 9 batter. No changes defensively for Stuttgart here in the 5th. Here it is, and he hit it softly in the air over the head of Duncan. Can he make the catch? He will. So Dagan ranges back a little bit, makes the catch. 1 out now in the 5th. And you got to lock in now because the top of the order is at the plate for Highland. That's Nate Huckabee. Huckabee grounded out to the first baseman in the first, singled in the second. This is his 3rd time to see Herzog, so 3rd time through the lineup against J.D. J.D.'s pitch count's still pretty good, though. .68 pitches through 61 pitches through 4 1/3. So J.D.'s in pretty good spot right now. First one to Huckabee, grounded to the first base side. Nice play by Duncan, but it's foul. So only 62 pitches. J.D. should, if he does not run into fatigue, which we've seen around the 5th inning. That's when J.D. seems to begin running into a little fatigue, the 5th and the 6th. This feels like a big couple of innings here. Here's the 0-1. Outside. Here comes the 1-1 to Huckabee. Shows bunt, gets it down. Barnes comes, charges, bobbles, throws across, not in time. So Barnes got a glove on it, kind of bobbled it, still made the play close, but that's going to be an E5 on the Rice Birds, and that's going to be a one-out base runner for the Rebels. So the second error of the day for Stuttgart, both on the left side of the infield. Puts a man at first base with one out. Jimmy Jensen, the right fielder, at the plate. He's 0 for 2 today with a strikeout and a ground out to third. Bo's had a lot of opportunities over there. He's gotten all of them but that one. Check of the runner. JD's always very mindful of the runners. He really controls the running game pretty doggone well. Hayden Prine's done a pretty good job throwing would-be base stealers out this year, but a lot of that's because JD does a very good job of keeping runners close. They're going to check on Huckabee again. He's back in time. Not yet a pitch to Jensen. I bet it's coming right here. There it comes, and that's a swing and a miss. They're going to throw behind the runner. He's back in time. Coach Brown and Coach Moser give a lot of freedom to their pitchers and catchers. As JD comes set, looks to deliver the 0-1 to Jensen. Here it is. That's a strike at the belt. You know, JD has stayed down in the zone. That's really the first strike call that we've seen at the belt. Highland fans don't like it, but that's the strike zone. That's right at the belt. He just hasn't lived up there. He's been down the whole game, so they just haven't seen much of that. Here's the 0-2. Big pitch here. Pop up back to the net. Well, if the net wasn't there, that would have probably come into the press box. Well, the sun's really shining out there now. Been a beautiful day today. Didn't think we were going to get it on Monday or Tuesday. But it's Coach Deaton taking care of us in the box, bringing some Little Caesars pizza. Say no more about Coach Deaton. He takes care of everybody. They're going to check on the runner. He's back in time. We didn't think on Monday or Tuesday. We were worried about a washout, the way the forecast looks. But, man, right now, there's a chance we may get this baby in without any rain all weekend. But the sun has really popped now, and it is warming up, it feels like. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. They're going to throw behind the runner, not in time, and that is the second out here in the fifth. So Jensen goes down swinging for the second out of the inning, and that brings the pitcher Sinclair to the plate. Sinclair scored the lone run for Highland back in the first. He walked and scored on an RBI double to the right center field gap from first. Now he could help himself here with 2 outs, runner at first. As Herzog sets, here's the pitch. There goes the runner, curveball, upstairs, throw down, not in time, into center field. They're going to try to advance the runner to third, and the throw's not in time, and that's going to allow Huckabee to go first to third. So that's going to be an E2 on the advance, a stolen base E2 on the advance to third, and now Highland has a base runner 90 feet away for the first time all day. This is the first time, I believe, that Highland's had a base runner at third. They've had him at second, they've had him at first, but not so far at third. So the pitch was up. It's a 1-0 count on the batter, Sinclair. Plenty of places to put him. Don't have to give in here. That one catches the outer half, and it's 1-1. Well, Sinclair didn't like it. 1 ball, 1 strike. This is a big at bat here for the two teams. Tied at 1. Go-ahead run stands at third. 1-1, swing and a miss, and it's 1-2. So JD ahead on the batter. Trying to pitch out of the bottom of the 5th inning, get his team into the dugout, tied at 1. Here comes the 1-2. Swinging a foul. He just got a piece of it. That ball was off the plate. He protected. Nice 2-strike approach by Sinclair. And he will have another opportunity now. The sun is starting to be a factor, I would think, on the left side of the field, as I'm starting to notice those shadows, the sun getting low in the west. So we'll see how that affects things. Lane Smith, playing very deep and left right now. Very deep. Here is the 1-2 to Sinclair. Swinging a foul. He stays alive. Good at bat right now between the two pitchers, Herzog and Sinclair. Huckabee stands at third. He reached on an E5 and then stole second and advanced to third on an E2. So 3 errors today for the Ricebirds. As the next one's on the way, curveball hit in the air. That's trouble, left field. Can Fontenot get there? He can't. It's against the wall. 1-run score. Sinclair, he's going to round second. They're going to try to get him to third. Relay is in time. He's out. But the damage is done. Sinclair hits it to the wall, gives Highland a 2-1 lead as we head to the top of the 6th inning. Nice play by Fontenot to get it in quickly. Relay was a little bit late as Byers wasn't sure where to send it. The throw was strong. Barnes puts the tag at the bag, and we head to the top of the 6th inning. Highland leads Stuttgart 2-1. We'll be back in 1 minute. You're listening to Ricebird Baseball on 105.5 The Duck. It's all a part of the EAB Sports Radio Network.
Monthly club meetings at the French Team in Stuttgart provide education and inspiration for sewing, embroidery, and silhouette digital cutting. If you're interested in joining these small groups, call the French Team today at 870-673-8156. There is no fee to join, but registration is required for both Bernina Club and Creative Club. Call today for this month's schedule. Call 673-8156 for the French Team, 2015 South Berkel in Stuttgart, FrenchTeam.com, and French Team Stuttgart on Facebook.
Did you know that since 1907, Lane has been providing water services to cities, industries, and farmers, not just in the Grand Prairie area, but all across the state. Lane provides pump sales and installation, constructs and designs water wells, and installs underground pipes. Lane also has an in-house machine shop, which is prepared to service and repair all brands and sizes of pumps, gear drives, and motors, along with the complete parts department open to the public. For all your water needs, contact Lane first at 2015 South Main in Stuttgart, or call 870-673-1591.
This is Kim Buffet. When it comes to personalized shopping, our staff at Coker Hampton Drug Company and Gift Shop in downtown Stuttgart are your trusted tastemakers. With nearly 100 years in our charming downtown, our gift shop offers a unique shopping experience, including bridal and baby registries. Explore our curated selection of many popular and well-known brands and products, from apparel to gourmet food, jewelry, and more. Join us where thoughtful presents meet personalized service at Coker Hampton Drug Company and Gift Shop at 218 South Main in downtown Stuttgart.
Work to do in the top of the 6th inning for the Ricebirds. They trail today 2-1 after Highland puts a run across the board in the 5th. As Sinclair drove that run in with an RBI double to the gap. He was thrown out at third trying to advance, and he's back out on the mound for his 6th inning of work facing Dagan Duncan. And the first pitch he sees is hit in the air right at the right fielder, and that'll be the first out of the inning. Boy, it felt like he hit that ball a little bit harder than he did, and kind of sent a little energy through the home stands, but that's going to be an F9 put out for Duncan. And Keaton Byers bats now. So running out of outs, 5 outs to go for the Ricebirds. They trail it 2-1. As this has been a pretty well played game, although that error in the 5th inning certainly came across. That is the difference in the game right now. So curveball that was off the plate. Everybody's asking, was it off? Yes, it was well off the plate, fellas. Here's the next one. That's a strike. 1 ball and a strike. One's upstairs, 2-1. The Ricebirds have had a few free base runners, but they've not hit it well today. Only 3 hits. They've been out hit 4-3, a couple of errors on the board for the Birds. There's a base hit over the head of the second baseman, and that's going to be a 1-out base runner. So the Ricebirds have the tying run aboard as Keaton Byers stands at first. And we'll see if Stuttgart tries to manufacture something here with Lane Smith at the plate. Smith is, I believe, 1 for 2 today. Yeah, he is 1 for 2. Actually, he's 1 for 1 with a sacrifice. So Byers stands at first, his second time on the base pass. They're going to check on him. Keaton's actually been on base all 3 times. A walk, a fielder's choice, and a single. Keaton scored the Birds' lone run of the game back in the 2nd. Smith, first pitch swinging. That one may stay in play. Third baseman gives it a look. Can't make it. He gave it a look. And with all the foul territory we have here at the baseball complex, he had an opportunity there. Just kind of got turned around, and so Smith will have another opportunity down in the count 0-1. Here's the 0-1 in the dirt. Nice job by the catcher to keep it in front. Well, I'm not sure that Sinclair came set right there. That was really close to not coming set, which would have been a balk. That's a set. Now they check on the runner. I don't know why in the world they keep checking on him, because Keaton, he's not 2.5 feet off that base, maybe 3. Maybe a little more than that, but he's definitely not getting a lead that would indicate he's thinking about trying to swipe second. 1 ball, 1 strike on the left fielder. It's hit in the air. That one's probably going to be an out. The third baseman ranges over, makes the catch, and there's 2 outs. So 2 gone here, and Cameron Rogers. Looks like the shortstop and left fielder are going to swap sunglasses. No, wait. The left fielder, I don't know what just happened. The left fielder gave his sunglasses to the second baseman. The shortstop gave his sunglasses to the left fielder, and the shortstop just doesn't have any sunglasses. What a great guy. First one to Rogers, swinging a miss, and, boy, Cam was he was kind of leaned back on that one. That was an inside pitch, and that might be the best one he sees today. He was way out in front, though. Cameron is 0 for 2 today. And if Cameron can push this pitch count up just a little bit, this would be the last at bat against Sinclair, which means Highland would have to send a new pitcher out for the 7th. But if Cam doesn't push it up or doesn't reach, then Sinclair could start the 7th inning. He's at 105 pitches right now. And they're still checking on Keaton over there at first. They have paid a lot of attention to the Ricebird shortstop. Stuttgart trails 2-1 and running out of outs to get that last run. It's getting late here. Rogers takes a ball high. Stuttgart, of course, has not made a state tournament in baseball since 2013. It has been a long time. In fact, last time Stuttgart made the state tournament, Dontrell Brown was the dude for Stuttgart. That team ended up actually losing in the state championship game to Arkadelphia. Rogers swings and misses at a high fastball. He's down to his final strike here. 1-2 count, 2 outs. We'll see if they start the runner. They do not. Rogers takes one just off the inside part of the plate, and it's 2-2. This might be pitch number 110. And if it is, this is the last batter for Sinclair. Here we go, swinging a pop-up. Is it going to get out of play? Maybe. Nope. I think the first baseman's going to be able to make the play, and he will, as that one just stayed in front of the Ricebird bench, and so we head to the bottom of the 6th inning. Stuttgart trailing Highland 2-1. J.D. Herzog will come out for the bottom of the 6th inning. Highland will send 4, 5, and 6 to the plate, but Sinclair's day is done, I believe. And so it will be a relief pitcher for the 7th inning, but we got to get there first. 109? 109. Well, so Sinclair could theoretically start the next inning. He's got 1 pitch remaining. So we'll see how it goes. We'll tell you all about it in 60 seconds. Ricebird Baseball is on 105.5 The Duck.
Hi, this is Jennifer Smith from Wilkerson Jewelers. The real value in any jewelry is the sentimental connection that you have to the pieces you own. The beautiful earrings your grandparents gave you when you graduated. The amazing engagement ring your fiancé surprised you with. The watch your company presented you with when you retired from your job. For over 50 years, Wilkerson's has been a part of those special moments. And we love that we get to be a small part of some of the most important experiences of your lives. No matter what your budget, come in to shop or check us out online at wilkersonjewelers.com. Easy financing and layaway are available. At Wilkerson Jewelers in beautiful downtown Stuttgart, we want to build memories with you.
Express Employment Professionals in Stuttgart has immediate openings for all job types and skill levels. Come in today to apply or go online to expresspros.com. Express is now hiring clerical, office administration, warehouse and production, equipment operators, CDL drivers, welders, machine operators, general labor, and all sorts of skilled trades. Even if you're just thinking about a new job, start your search with Express Employment Professionals at 1904 South Main in Stuttgart. Come in today or go online to expresspros.com.
Heart of the order at the plate for Highland here, and that is the 4, 5, and 6 batters. Statler, Huckabee, and Heislip. J.D. Herzog on for his 6th inning of work. No changes defensively for the Wrightsbirds. Highland leads it 2-1 here in the bottom of the 6th inning.
Now batting for Highland is number 18, Keegan Statler.
Statler doubled and grounded out to the shortstop today, so he is 1 for 2. Herzog starts him with a curveball that he taps foul. Stuttgart has just struggled to get anything going offensively. It's kind of been the name of the season. Here's the 0-1 outside. Stuttgart's got excellent pitching this year. They just have not been able to score enough runs. Won a lot of games 3-2, 2-1. Losing games, 4-3. Here's the 1-1. Curveball, swing and a miss. JD has not seemed to lose much thus far. He is in command. Plenty of pitches left. Upstairs, ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes on the Highland third baseman, Keegan Statler. Next one is on the way from JD. Curveball poked out of the reach of Byers for a leadoff C&I single. Just threw his bat head at it and hit it where they ain't, and that is a leadoff single for Statler. His second hit of the afternoon. Brings Zach Huckabee to the plate, the catcher for Highland, and we're going to have time called. Coach Brown's going to come out and talk to his pitcher, and we will see what is going to happen here. I don't think it's going to be any type of a change. I think it's just maybe Coach Brown noticed something. He's kind of showing him something on the rubber he was just a moment ago. That was just, I think it's just a situational conversation. Herzog's going to stay on the mound. Maybe he's not. We may be seeing a pitching change. Dagan Duncan may be coming into the game. I believe he is. So, yeah, Stuttgart's going to make a change is what it looks like to me. Dagan Duncan is going into the dugout. And we're going to keep it right here. And if there is a change, we'll take a break once we know that. And, yeah, Dagan just took off his first base mitts, and he is coming into the game. So Knox Hillman is going to be lifted from the game. He will head to the dugout. Duncan will head to the plate. J.D. Herzog will, I assume, move to second or short. Byers the other position. And it looks as though Sawyer Hillman is going to play first base. So Hillman will be inserted into the lineup for his brother Knox. And Dagan Duncan is the new pitcher of record. So while he gets loose, we'll take a commercial break. And when we come back, Hopefully, we'll see Dagan get these 3 outs right quick, fast, and in a hurry. You're listening to Ricebird Baseball on 105.5 The Duck. We'll be back in 60 seconds.
Hello, this is Kyle Stovison with Ag Heritage Farm Credit Services in Stuttgart. If you're looking to purchase or refinance farm real estate, equipment, cattle, or need capital for your crop operating expenses, we finance it all and share our profits through our patronage program. At Ag Heritage, we have friendly loan officers, competitive rates, and most of all, a lender who provides you with a financing package tailor-made to fit your individual needs. Please contact Kevin Wingfield or myself, Kyle Stovison, in Stuttgart at 870-673-1558. Ag Heritage Farm Credit Services is an equal housing lender.
Baptist Health Women's Clinic Stuttgart is committed to providing quality patient care through all stages of a woman's life. We understand that different health concerns come with each new phase of a woman's life, so we provide education services, trained staff, and a board-certified OBGYN to meet every female body need. From pregnancy and childbirth to osteoporosis and gynecological exams, Baptist Health delivers the care you need to pursue a lifetime of wellness. Learn more at BaptistHealthWomen.com. Baptist Health, for you, for life.
Dagan Duncan into the game to pitch. He moves from first base to the mound. J.D. Herzog, we presume, will go to shortstop. Byers will go to second. Sawyer Hillman into the game for Knox Hillman. He'll play first base and bat ninth. He'll actually lead off the bottom of the seventh inning. Excuse me, the top of the seventh inning. Runner at first, nobody out, is Keegan Statler. He reached on a C&I single into left field, and now it's Zach Huckabee. Huckabee's 2 for 2 today. Got a couple of singles. And this will be the first time that he has seen the Ricebird left-hander. Got to use all your bullets, because if you don't win today, there is no tomorrow. Can't worry about that. Now, they're going to send Herzog to second, so Byers will stay at shortstop. All right, here we go. Let's get into this dugout down 1. Not more. As Duncan works from the stretch, checks on the runner. Here's the pitch, and it's a ball outside. They're going to throw behind the runner, not in time. He had him leaning pretty good there, though. One 1-0 pitch on the way. Swing and a miss. They're going to throw behind the runner again. He's back easily. Well, don't do that too many times. Don't want to throw it into right field. 1 ball, 1 strike. Huckabee from the right side, Duncan from the left. We're going to check on the runner again. He's back in time. I don't expect Highland to be too aggressive here until they get in a better spot. I don't think, part of the order up, I don't think they're going to run into anything. Here's the next one. Inside. No, they're going to say it caught the corner. So that one caught the inner half. Huckabee is standing very close to the plate, so that explains that. 1 ball, 2 strikes now. Dagan way ahead. Sets, pitch, and downstairs. Boy, Dagan's going to have to be very careful. He almost did not set there. And here's the 2-2. They're going to check on the runner again. And now Dagan's going to step off. He doesn't look just totally comfortable out there right now. I think he's telling Hayden he can't see the signs. He's going to have to be a little bit bigger with what he's calling here. Now he's ready. 2-2 set. Swing and a miss, and that's the first out on a strikeout. Nice pitch there by Dagan. Gets Huckabee to go down swinging. First time he's been retired this afternoon. That brings the center fielder Hayden Hislop to the plate. Hislop has struck out his plate appearances against J.D. And now he will face the Ricebird left-hander in the 6th. First pitch is a strike on the outside corner. defensively. Stuttgart playing pretty well straight away all over the field. Byers may be shaded a bit up the middle. Swing and a miss, and it's 0-2. Here is the 0-2 delivery. On the way, inside, ball one. Prine kind of popped up like he was going to throw behind the runner again. He might have. I don't think that was going to be called a strike, but it was borderline where you could lose a strike doing that if you're not careful. Here is the 1-2. Curveball inside, 2-2. That's the pitch that he struck Huckabee out on. Now the 2-2 from Duncan. Sets, checks on the runner at first. They're going to throw over there. And we'll do it again. Boy, it's clouding up a little bit. I don't think it's rain clouds. I just think got some clouds covering the sun right now. Here's the next one from Dagan. Swing and a pop-up foul. That one's going to go into the softball field possibly. Wynn and Gosnell are playing softball right now. In fact, as soon as this one's over, I'm going to pack up and head over there and get the last few innings of the Wynn game for a EAB sister station. Here is the 2-2. Swing and a miss on a ball in the dirt. Makes the catch, and that is the second out of the inning. So Dagan comes in, strikes out the two batters he has faced thus far. Now he faces the second Hislop. Owen, the shortstop, Hislop maybe. Our PA's guys saying Hislop. I'm going with Hislop. First pitch to him, swing and a miss. Don't throw it into right field. You got 2 outs. That's what Dagan's telling the catcher, Hayden Prine, right now, saying, hey, we're ahead 0-1 on the batter. He's at first, and there's 2 outs. Let's don't take chances. That one-hopped Hillman. He did a nice job of keeping it in front. Curveball, that catches the corner, and it's 0-2. Boy, Dagan is pumping strikes right now. We'll see if Highland starts the runner down 0-2. Wouldn't be shocked at all. He's not got a big lead. Here's the pitch. Curveball, swing and a miss, and we go to the top of the 7th inning. Duncan puts out the fire, and Stuttgart needs 1 run to keep it going, 2 to take the lead. And we'll tell you all about it in 1 minute. You're listening to Ricebird Baseball on 105.5 The Duck. We are a part of the EAB Sports Radio Network.
Do you know how much life insurance your partner has? What company is it with? Do you have life insurance? Is it through your employer only, or do you have a policy that you own? This is Holly Brothers, and as a life insurance agent, it is my responsibility to discuss the types of coverage available to you and put a plan in place for when your employer no longer provides coverage. Life insurance costs more as we age, so don't wait to apply. Let's lock in your rate today and save. Give Keith or myself a call at Connection Insurance, 870-673-9249.
Tohatsu Outboard offers 4-stroke motors from 2.5 to 250 horsepower, and all with a 5-year warranty. Built with their one-of-a-kind direct injection technology, Tohatsu has revolutionized environmental performance, uncompromising in their pursuit of durable and lightweight outboard motors. And with interest rates as low as 4.99% financing, now is the time to get a new Tohatsu motor from Max Prairie Wings in Stuttgart. Call Max Prairie Wings in Stuttgart or click on maxbw.com. Great service and competitive prices. Max Prairie Wings in Stuttgart. Host begins here.
All right, a new pitcher on the bump for the Rebels of Highland. It's going to be the shortstop, Owen Hislop. He is on in relief of Mason Sinclair, who leaves in line for the win. He went 6 innings, 4 hits, 1 run, and it's going to be up to Hislop to get the final 3 outs of this one. We are going to have a change for the Ricebirds in the batting order. Thought we might see Sawyer Hillman come to the plate, but it looks like in Knox Hillman's position, They're going to lift Knox, and they're going to insert the senior Peyton Thompson. So it looks like Peyton Thompson will lead things off here in the 7th inning. Then it's the top of the order, Caden Scaife and Austin Fontenot. As Ricebirds must add 1 run to send us to the bottom of the 7th, 2 to take the lead, or the season comes to an end. So it's been a heck of a pitched game, man. J.D. Herzog, Dagan Duncan, they both were spectacular. The 2 runs for Highland, one of them actually was unearned. So it's been a well-pitched game, well-played game. Stuttgart just has not been able to make much happen offensively. They've had some chances, a couple of leadoff base runners, just haven't been able to cash in with runs. Let's see if Peyton Thompson can start things off here in the top of the 7th. First pitch to him is a swing and a miss. Thompson, of course, will be playing football at Southern Arkansas University next season. He would love to end his Ricebird career on a high note right here. Outside, the count's 1-1 now. Thompson's got plenty of pop in that right-handed bat. As the 1-1 is on the way, and he pops it up the right side. That should be the first out. Second baseman calls for it, goes back, right fielder comes in. It's going to be the second baseman that makes the catch, and there's 1 gone. So the Ricebirds down to their final 2 outs. Caden Scaife bats. CC has been on base once. That was a 5th inning walk. So he's 0 for 2 today. And he bats with the bases empty and 1 out. First pitch he sees is outside. CC can work the pitcher. He's very patient. And he'll definitely work the pitcher. Here's the next one. That one was just off the plate, 2-0. Hislop's working pretty quick out there. He's already ready with the baseball. Here it is, and that one misses outside 3-0. Same 3 spots. So CC, I bet they don't give him the take sign being a senior, but he's going to be very selective here, way ahead of 3-0. And he takes a strike, 3-1. I'm going to stand up, see if I can change the mojo a little. Can't do anything. Let's all stand up. Let's change the mojo. Here's the next one, and it's fouled off to the backstop, and it's 3-2. Of course, we stand up, and now we're down to the count 3-2, so I don't know if it helped any. Now, Coach Tate's going to get with the program. He's going to stand up. The Ricebird press box is all on their feet here. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Birds down 2-1. CC Scaife at the plate with the bases empty. Top 7. Here's the 3-2. He fouls it to the backstop. We'll do it again. I don't think it's just the Ricebird press box on their feet. A lot of the Ricebird fans down that first base line standing as well. Here's the next one. 3-2 delivery in the dirt, and that's going to be a 1-out walk, and the tying run is on base. So Stuttgart gets the tying run on base, and Austin Fontenot will come to the plate. Let's see what Coach Brown wants to do. Of course, CC's dealing with a bad hip. And we'll see if Stuttgart's going to lift him for a pinch runner possibly. Looks like no. Looks like they're going to stay with the senior. So they're going to let him run the bases. J.D. Herzog's on deck. Boy, you'd love to have J.D. come to the plate with the tying run in scoring position. Stuttgart tried to sacrifice bunt earlier in this situation. It didn't work out. And now they've got a runner at first. Scaife will dive back into first as they check on him. This situation, if you're Fontenot, you're doing anything you can to move that runner into scoring position for Herzog. Of course, you're also, there's the pitch. It hit him. Herzog wore that one between right in the middle of the 4, and the Ricebirds have 2 on with 1 out and a very dangerous J.D. Herzog at the plate. So this is the situation that Stuttgart needs and wants. They finally have their senior leader at the plate with runners in scoring position. So it is finally an opportunity for J.D. to do damage. He has been at the plate every time with the bases empty. Now he's got ducks on the pond as Fontenot's kind of needing a little extra time. He wore a pretty good one there between the shoulder blades. As he's all right, he's ready to go. So C.C. Scaife is the base runner at second, Austin Fontenot at first. Scaife's the tying run, Fontenot's the go-ahead run. J.D. Herzog at the plate. He'll be playing baseball next year at Arkansas State University Mountain Home. He's got a little more to take care of here in Stuttgart, though. The first pitch he sees is a center-cut fastball for strike one. Bo Barnes is in the on-deck circle for Stuttgart. Top of the seventh. Highland leading it 2-1. First round 4A2 regional tournament. Herzog digs in, right side. High slip comes set, checks on the runner at second. Here's the pitch, and that's a high pitch that just misses the top of the zone, and the count goes 1-1. Ball and a strike on the Ricebird second baseman. Here it is. Ground ball just out of the reach of the second baseman. Scaife rounds third. He is going to score. The throw misses the cutoff man. Fontenot is going to go into third, and the Ricebirds have runners at second and third with one out on an RBI double off the bat of J.D. Herzog. Herzog just under the glove of the Highland second baseman. Scaife scored. The throw went to the backstop. Everyone moved up 90. And now Stuttgart can take the lead. Bo Barnes at the plate. Anything to the outfield could potentially move Stuttgart ahead. It's 2-2 now, top of the seventh, and Highland's going to bring the infield in with the go-ahead run 90 feet away. So Herzog needs to pay attention. He's got everyone in front of him. He's got a massive lead over there at second. You don't want to have Highland run anything in behind you there. You need to definitely hope Coach Moser's paying attention. As Herzog is halfway, anything into the outfield is going to score Herzog. Fontenot at third. Here's the pitch. It's pulled down the left field line. It's fair. One runs in. Herzog touches third. He scores. Bo Barnes into second with a stand-up double. And the Ricebirds lead it 4-2. Stuttgart with 3 runs in the top of the seventh to take a 4-2 lead. And they're not done yet. Dagan Duncan strolls to the plate. Stuttgart down to their final 2 outs, have put 3 across the board here in the seventh. They've got another one in scoring position, and Dagan Duncan in the left-handed batter's box. As Highslip delivers the first one to Dagan, and he fouls it off down the third base line for strike one. Finally, Stuttgart with a couple of big swings there. The heart of the order finally comes through. Herzog and Barnes, first opportunities those young men have had really with runners in scoring position today. Barnes takes his lead from second. Here's the 0-1 pitch from Hislop. Swing and a miss as Dagan kind of chased that one over the outer half. He tried to pull it, and it's an 0-2 count on Duncan. Of course, Duncan is the pitcher of record. He'll go back out on the bump to try to get the final 3 outs of this one. Barnes has a big lead at second. Here's the pitch, and Dagan takes one up and in, and it's 1-2. Barnes just kept his hands inside the ball, pulled it down the left field line, and 2-hopped the wall. Here's the 1-2 to Dagan. Swing and a miss on a high fastball. That's the second out of the inning, and that will bring Keaton Byers to the plate. Boy, you really would love to pick up that insurance run out there at second. Hey, I told y'all we just needed to stand up. That was the secret. So Byers will bat with a runner at second and 2 outs. What has Keaton done today? He's walked and scored, hit into a fielder's choice, and singled. So he's 1 for 2 this afternoon. And the first pitch he sees is in the dirt. Nice job by Huckabee to keep it in front. If you're wondering, Highland will send 8-9-1 to the plate in the bottom of the seventh. 8-9-1 for the Rebels. Here's the 1-0 to Byers. Keaton takes one just down, and it's 2-0. So Byers is in a good hitter's position here, 2-0. And, boy, you'd love to see the shortstop be aggressive here with that runner standing at second base. 2-0 count. And he is, and he hits it right where the shortstop wasn't. Here comes Barnes. He's going to score, and the Rice Birds have put 4 on the board. They lead it 6-2. Excuse me, 5-2. I looked, they had already changed the scoreboard. Our scoreboard people are really aggressive here this afternoon. So Keaton Byers picks up Barnes at second. Rice Birds have scored 4. They lead it by 3. And Lane Smith comes to the plate. And Byers stands at first. So we'll see if Stuttgart wants to be aggressive here, try to move Byers into scoring position. They're kind of in the catbird seat right now. First pitch to Lane is upstairs for ball 1. I bet if Stuttgart gets in a good running count, they might start the runner here. One 1-0 count. Byers takes his lead at first. Hislop comes set. Here's the pitch outside, ball 2. Cameron Rogers is on deck. He'll bat if Lane Smith can extend the top of the 7th. Here's the 2-0. Smith fouls it off the catcher's mask, it looked like. 2-1. Coach Brown's calling Smith down to talk to him. He didn't like that approach at all. That was a short conversation. So Lane heads back to that right-handed batter's box where he awaits a 2-1 pitch from Hislop. Byers takes a small lead from first. And the pitch is on the way, and that is ball 3. So Stuttgart being able to chase Sinclair through 6. They worked him a lot, made him get the pitch count up high, and they have feasted on Hislop here in the 7th. 3-1. Outside, and that's going to be a walk of Smith, and Stuttgart will put another runner in scoring position. Still 2 outs, and see if Cameron Rogers can pick up Byers out there at second. So after Stuttgart was pretty much dead in the water through the majority of this one, they are 1 batter away from batting around here in the top of the 7th inning. And Rogers takes a ball up and away, and Hislop is really struggling to find the strike zone right now. Peyton Thompson led this inning off with a pop-up to second base. And then was a walk, hit by pitch, single, double, strikeout single that scored the 4 runs for Stuttgart. And, boy, that was a very generous strike call off the outer half against Rogers. So that changes the at-bat slightly, 1-1 now. As Hislop comes set, checks on checks on the base runner at second. Here's the pitch, and that's outside. And the count's 2-1. So, boy, that generous strike call took it from 2-1 to 3-0 or 3-0 to 2-1. But regardless, Rogers is going to have a little bit better at bat than he's had thus far today. He's more than capable. Here's the 2-1, and that's another one of those, that outside pitch that's been maybe a little bit inconsistent, but more often than not, he is definitely given the outside corner, and Rogers is down in the count 2-2. Byers with the lead at second. Smith at first. Here's the 2-2 outside, full count, so the runners will get a head start now. So a base hit scores 1. Something in the gap might score 2. As Cameron Rogers has a 3-2 count, Hislop's got to come with a strike here. There go the runners. Here's the pitch, and it's fouled off out of play. Lane Smith kind of got a late jump there. I'm not sure he realized it was 3-2, 2 outs. That's what Coach Moser's telling him right now, saying, hey, as soon as he commits to the dish, you've got to go. So Rogers back in that left-handed box. Runners get their lead. There they go. Rogers hits one on a line to right field, but right at the right fielder. And that'll do it for the Birds in the top of the 7th inning. They strand 2, but they push 2 across the plate to take a 5-2 lead as we head to the bottom of the 7th inning. Highland will send 8-9-1 to the plate. They'll have to face the Stuttgart left-hander Dagan Duncan. We'll be back in 60 seconds. You're listening to Rice Bird Baseball on 105.
Are you tired of unreliable internet service? Do you constantly run over your data plan? Are you having trouble getting internet service where you live? With TechStream high-speed internet, you'll get consistent high speeds and low latency that doesn't stop at city limits. TechStream high-speed internet is perfect for homes, small and large businesses, farmers, and hunting clubs. You'll be able to stream, game, and surf with no interruptions. Servicing Arkansas, Lone Oak, Prairie, Jefferson, and Lincoln counties. TechStream is your locally owned and operated high-speed internet solution. Call toll-free 866-268-0101 or visit techstream.net.
At Farmers and Merchants Bank, we're not just a bank, we're a part of your community. That's why we're dedicated to being the neighbors who are in your corner right here in Arkansas. Whether you're saving for a new home, planning for your future, or managing your everyday finances, Farmers and Merchants Bank has the friendly local knowledge and personalized services to help you reach your goals. Farmers and Merchants Bank, in your corner, supporting the community we all call home. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Bottom of the 7th inning, Stuttgart 3 outs away from their first trip to the 4A state tournament since 2013. Dagan Duncan on the mound. He is going to try to get the final 3 outs of this one. He is in line for the win. Defensive changes for Stuttgart in the field. Sawyer Hillman inserted into the game in place of Knox Hillman in the 9 spot. He was actually lifted for Peyton Thompson leading off the 7th. So Thompson is going to be pulled, and they're going to reinsert Knox Hillman into the lineup, so he will actually go to third base. They're going to move Bo Barnes from third to first, and then Byers and Herzog will still be up the middle. No other changes besides that. Lane Smith is in left, Austin Fontenot in center, Cameron Rogers in right. Hayden Prine still behind the plate, and it's 8-9-1 for the Rebels. Joseph Sprinkle, Carson Stanford, and then the top of the order in Nate Huckabee. Hester, is the leadoff. He is 0 for 1 today with a sacrifice. And the first pitch he sees from Duncan is up and away for ball 1. Right now, you just want Dagan to pump strikes. Hey, if they hit it, they hit it. But you do not want to give free bases. That's what gave Highland fits in the top of the inning. And there's a strike, and it's 1-1. Dagan looked good after he settled in the bottom of the 6th. Hopefully he can keep that momentum going here in the bottom of the 7th. 5-2, Stuttgart in front. As the 1-1 is on the way, and it's fouled off into the parking lot for strike 2. Ooh, that one hit a car. If you're driving a gold Toyota Camry, you just got a dent in your driver's side door. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Duncan's fiddling with that baseball in his glove. We know that's the breaking pitch. Here it comes, swinging a foul. Nice at bat going here for Hester as he stays alive. Good 2-strike approach for the second baseman. He's had a pretty good game today in the field. He's made a couple of nice plays. And he leads things off for Highland in the 7th. Here comes the 1-2. Swing and a miss. He struck him out, and the Rice Birds are 2 outs away. And they almost threw it around the horn into right field. That's okay. You get the air out when it doesn't matter. All right, so strikeout of Hester brings the designated hitter Joseph Sprinkle to the plate with the bases empty and 1 out. Stuttgart leading at 5-2, bottom 7. Lights have been turned on here at the baseball complex, and the first pitch to Sprinkle is a curveball that made him look silly. In fact, Duncan's going to have to be careful. Yeah, he's fixing to get a warning. He's going to get a warning from the home plate umpire because he just sheathed his sword after that breaking pitch, and that is not the way to endear yourself to the home plate umpire. Let's see if that zone doesn't shrink a little bit. Here's the 0-1 outside. That one didn't have a chance, and it's 1-1. That one was just spinning out there. So 1 ball, 1 strike. There is a lot of energy at the park right now. You can feel it. Ground ball, right side, right at the first baseman. Bo Barnes gets the out, and the Rice Birds are 1 out away. 3 unassisted. Top of the order for Highland and Nate Huckabee. Huckabee is 1 for 3 today with a ground down to third base and an E5 reaching in the 5th. He came around to score in that inning. And he is the final hope for Highland here as Dagan Duncan looks to work. A 1-2-3, bottom of the 7th. Boy, if they do, you will hear the Riceburg complex go crazy. First pitch, he spiked it. That's called being a little bit fired up. He spiked that one at about 58 feet. If this one goes final with the current score, there are a lot of Ricebird fans here, and this place will go crazy. Here comes the 1-0. That's a strike over the outer half, and it's 1-1. Baseball is a cruel, cruel sport. Highland led it 2-1. They were 2 outs away, and now the Ricebirds are an out away, leading it 5-2. Now that's a foul tip to the backstop, and Highland's down to their last strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs, bases empty, bottom 7. Birds lead it 5-2. Huckabee in the left-handed box against the left-handed Duncan. He's working from the windup. Here is the 1-2. He swings and misses. It gets past the catcher. Throw to first is in time, and that's the ball game. Stuttgart with a 5-2 win here this afternoon. They move on to the regional semifinal. But more importantly, for the first time since 2013, your Stuttgart Ricebirds move on to the 4A state tournament in Monticello. What a performance this afternoon as Stuttgart pulls off the comeback to win it 5-2. They trailed 1-0, tied it at 1. Then Highland moved ahead 2-1 in the bottom of the 5th inning. And then a 4 spot in the top of the 7th is the difference. And the Ricebirds will play tomorrow afternoon in the regional semifinal. They will actually play the winner of the game coming up here in just a moment, Lone Oak and Gosnell. That game first pitch is 2:30 tomorrow afternoon. We'll be on the air at 2:15 for the Blue Seal Petroleum pregame show. Now, that's important, but the most important piece of information, as I've already mentioned, for the first time since 2013, Stuttgart moving on to the 4A state tournament where they will be playing just an hour away from, well, a little over an hour away from home on the campus of Monticello High School. And I tell you what, feels like this team has a chance to do a little bit more than typically is expected of a number 4 seed out of a conference, because this is a team that's got a little bit of pitching. They got pretty good defense. If they can get timely hitting, they've got a chance to win a game or two. All right, we're going to go ahead and close it out from the Ricebird Baseball Complex. We'll remind you that Stuttgart, again, on the air tomorrow, 2:30 first pitch, 2:15 for the pregame show. I've got to very quickly shut it down here and get over to the softball game to pick up the final innings of the Win softball game. So, thank you so much for making us a part of your Thursday afternoon. One more time, final score from Stuttgart. Ricebirds 5, Rebels 2. We'll talk to you guys tomorrow afternoon at 2:15. So long, everyone.